videos around campus for any evidence, and they tell us nothing came up at all.
An active shooter report at Villanova University in Pennsylvania Sunday also turned out to be a hoax. Only 11% of California's Picket fire has been contained so far. A report from KTVU Fox 2 San Francisco's John Krinjak.
1,200 firefighters from across the state surging into the fire zone. Crews rushing to contain what's known as a fire whirl, using helicopters to hit the flames from above. Others tackling flare-ups along the edge of the fire zone using hoses to shore up containment lines to make sure they hold. At the Ink Grove winery, the flames were just a few feet away from the grapes. One after another, we watched bone-dry trees and bushes going up in flames in a matter of seconds. As thick smoke continues to billow from the Picket fire, air quality warnings have been extended.
The fires burned at least 6,800 acres. CAL FIRE says there's been no damage or destruction to structures. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
What some people are saying about an ICE detention center in Johnson County. Nothing on radar, 58 degrees in downtown Indianapolis, going up to 72. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 6:02.
So I came out here today to protest what are essentially concentration camps in America.
That woman spoke to Wish TV. She was one of a couple of hundred people outside Camp Atterbury on Sunday, which is set to become a temporary detention center for ICE.
I have been to Warsaw, Poland. I have done World War II history. I have been to a Treblinka, which is a memorial to a concentration camp was there.
And Governor Braun said as recently as last week that leaders are still trying to figure out which roles ICE and the Indiana National Guard will have in running the facility. Indiana will join 18 other states in deploying National Guard members to support federal immigrations officers. White House Border Czar Tom Homan said Saturday the 1,700 Guard members will help U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement with transportation and intelligence. Lucas Oil, founded in 1989 by Forrest Lucas, lost its founder Saturday. Jake McDaniel reports on the mark he left behind.
Lucas was an Indiana native who built his company from the ground up, turning it into a major name in both motorsports and professional sports through partnerships like the naming rights for Lucas Oil Stadium. His company, as well as the National Hot Rod Association, both posted on social media honoring him as a visionary who will be deeply missed.
For long hours on the road behind the wheel of his rig, to creating the first products that the Lucas Oil brand would bring to market. It was a passion mixed with an immense personal drive that allowed Forrest and his wife Charlotte to beat the odds and grow the business to the level it is today.
And Lucas was 83. Jake McDaniel, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
And the Indianapolis Colts wrapped up their preseason on Saturday with a 41-14 win over the Cincinnati Bengals. Kickoff Week 1 on September 7th at home against Miami. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. Traffic and weather together in 1 minute. It's 6:04.
Hi, this is Chris Cox, owner of Chimney Solutions, Indiana. We're celebrating our 10th year in business. Call this month to take advantage of 10% off all chimney sweeps and inspections. We're also celebrating the opening of our new fireplace showroom on 86th Street and Lafayette Road. Come and experience our exclusive lines of wood-burning and gas fireplaces.
Call 317-557-6979 or chimneyindy.com.
Grown-ups, don't go back to school. Go forward through school into your future as an IT professional. Whether you're starting out, switching careers, or a veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you get into IT in just a few short months with no prior experience. So take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Your rewarding career in IT awaits. That's mycomputercareer.edu. An Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the VA benefits.
Hey, I-65 on the south side looks great. No closures this weekend. We still have the construction zone from 465 up to the south split, but we're moving like we should right now. Northbound, southbound directions looking good. 465 up to the south split. Airport runners this morning taking people from the downtown hotels. Good morning. Everything looks good on westbound 70th from those entrance ramps. It could be west, it could be Meridian, where you're getting on at. And then westbound 70 out to the airport collector looks fantastic. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with nationwide LTE coverage. For a limited time, get 60% off and free UPS shipping at rapidradios.com. Use code RADIO for an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Wish TV meteorologist Marcus Bailey, good morning. Happy Monday. How does the weather look?
Hey, Craig, good morning to you. It is a Monday, and it's a beautiful start. A little crisp here this morning, a little taste of fall. More of that to come here this week. Mostly sunny skies, below average temperatures, about 10 degrees below average, but beautiful high of 73 this afternoon. Clear, it's going to be a little more chilly overnight, to low down to 51. Some outlying areas might sneak into the upper 40s overnight. Tuesday, mostly sunny skies. Again, beautiful, a high of 73. Wednesday, mostly sunny, a high of 74. And Thursday, partly cloudy, very comfortable, with highs holding into the mid-70s.
Thank you very much. Right now, it is 6:07 Monday morning.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Engagement Ring Store.
Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in for the day. Thrilled to be here. Tony is back tomorrow. Lots of things out there. Producer Carl was just telling me that Abrego Garcia will report to ICE and then maybe be deported again. Who knows? That saga has gone on for a very long time. And the thing about it that matters most is that Abrego could have always been deported to anywhere other than his home country, even though that's where we sent him the first time. He went in jail for a little bit, came back, a bunch of things, all that stuff has happened. Anyway, Abrego Garcia should be kicked out of this country, I think, in the near future. But we'll see. He will report to ICE again soon, and then who knows? They're calling it a check-in, but I don't know what that actually is going to be. And I do love the fact that so many people have said the Maryland man got back home. Because if you remember the sanitized version of the way they speak in media, and especially on the left, you change everything. And actually, I did that exercise in another show, so I might as well do it here with the large audience that WIBC has. Like, what other things do you think we should sanitize in society? The versions, I mean, you and I don't think this, but if we wanted to make fun of the idea, what should we do? I thought about an unregistered pharmacist as a drug dealer, or like an undocumented pharmacist. That's a pretty good one for how left would call, hey, he's not a drug dealer. He just forgot to go to pharmaceutical school to get all those things. And then also he does illegal, terrible stuff. You come up with another version and let us know. Tell us on our social media pages if you want. Go wherever. Radio Craig C is mine. You can find Tony. You can find WIBC. But I've had a lot of fun with that, even just off the air. I think I'm annoying some of my liberal friends by any time they say something that I think could be sanitized by mainstream media. I go ahead and do it. And I add the different variables to it. Right now, in the world of baseball, the New York Yankees have a shortstop that's playing terrible, Anthony Volpe. And so to me, he's just a, shortstop that is struggling. He's not actually someone who's lacking talent. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens there, because if I want to sanitize his version of description, I just do everything the Yankees do when they claim that he's good at stuff and he's terrible. My other favorite story that's out there, and we'll definitely talk about it more in a little bit, is the National Guard being deployed in Chicago. Now, there's a few things about it that matter, and you should know this first and foremost. When Brandon Johnson, the mayor there, says that, they're not welcome, we're going to throw them out, the National Guard has people that live in Chicago. So the individuals that would be activated don't have to, say, come from Washington, D.C., show up in Chicago and start behaving like National Guardsmen. They live there. So the first thing that matters is that these would be Chicagoans. So Brandon Johnson can't kick them out. No one can. And the other thing that's crazy to me, and the left keeps calling this, occupation of our cities by our military. And that language, the exact reverse of what I'm joking about a second ago, the lack of sanitization, the overdramatic version of language they use to make something sound different than it is, it's abundantly anti-military for our country. Because the last thing our military would ever do, in my opinion, anyone who'd be asked to serve in some capacity here in the United States, is harm innocent people. And that's the idea in any place where you think that something is, going above and beyond to where it becomes a dictatorship and they're forcing people into their homes or doing all kinds of crazy things and using the military to win That's not at all what would occur here. And the men and women who serve our country that we're supposed to celebrate, and many of us do celebrate on a daily basis, would never do that. They'd never harm us, but they would protect us against criminals. And it seems that might be the thing that'll actually happen. And I can't get over the fact that they sanitize, the undocumented immigrant, but then they refuse to even remotely come close to explaining in correct detail what it would mean for people living in Chicago to be allowed to help protect that city from the rampant amount of crime that exists there. All right, we'll take a break. A lot to do, a lot of fun to have on a Monday. This is Craig Collins filling in. Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
This is Gary Dick, Investment and New Hope for Gary at 632. Brought to you by the proud members of the Indiana Laborers District Council and affiliated local unions who build Indiana. We are LIUNA.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Do you suffer from sore feet, back, knee, or hip pain? The Good Feet Arch Support System has helped many people find relief, like Tim.
I'm always telling my colleagues who have sore feet, this is the greatest thing. I'll even take my shoe off and show them. And I believe in the product so much. When you have something that works, you kind of want to share it with people. It worked for me, maybe it can work for you.
Or do you wake up at night with heel pain, like Crystal?
I would wake up in the middle of the night with all kinds of pain in my heels and in my arch. So I went to the Good Feet store, and ever since then, I've been pain-free. I wear them every day. I wear them when I walk, at the gym, when I work. They're great.
Get back to walking, working, and exercising, and imagine a life without pain. No shots, no surgery, no medication. You've got nothing to lose but your pain. Stop into the Good Feet store today for a free fitting and test walk. We're located in Castleton by the Fashion Mall or in Greenwood, just off the 65.
Thanks to the Good Feet store. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577. Service today. Today.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Matt Bear, how do our roads look?
Inbound 69 from Fisher's looking fantastic right now. That's State Road 37 down to 465. And right now we have No delays on inbound 69 whatsoever. What about westbound 70? Good morning, Hancock County. Hello, Greenfield. Westbound 70, no sweat through your construction. And that construction zone, been getting back in Nicetown through Greenfield and out to Mount Comfort. Yeah, we're looking pretty good at the moment as you make your way towards the Indianapolis City Center. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with nationwide LTE coverage. For a limited time, get 60% off and free UPS shipping at rapidradios.com. Use code RADIO for an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear with Traffic on the Fives. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. As you heard from Marcus Bailey, today is beautiful here in downtown Indianapolis. It is currently 55 degrees. The temperature will be about 72, maybe a few clouds, but really a lovely day. That temperature, by the way, is brought to you by the American Standard Heating and Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
At Verizon, lock in a low price on the most reliable 5G in Indianapolis and be the best you. Stream your favorite music on your morning commute. Get tickets to that new Blockbuster and save big with Verizon while you do it all. Switch today and pay $50 a month for a single line. That's right, just $50 a month when you bring in your phone on unlimited welcome with autopay plus taxes and fees. Stop by your nearest Verizon store today. $15 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Rankings based on root metrics, root score report, data 1H 2025. Your results may vary. Additional terms apply.
Hey, it's Mike Rowe, and if you want to do business with a company that actually stands for something, switch to Pure Talk. I did. Sure, I appreciate being on America's most dependable 5G network with unlimited talk and text for just $20 a month. But what I really appreciate is Pure Talk's commitment to our military and to our skilled workforce. That matters to me. Save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet, so make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
Return to sender. That's pretty funny. That's well done, Carl. This is Tony Katz, Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. You got Matt, you have Carl hanging out, as they do every single morning. And Abrego Garcia will be returned to, well, not as sender, but someone in the near vicinity. So we'll see exactly what happens there. All right, let's talk about some sillier stuff. First, I wanted to mention something, and I usually take an earlier segment in the show to do it. I think as we get older, we're supposed to avoid the stupidity of our youth. Like that's supposed to be the thing that comes with age, is you do things differently than you were young and dumb. Am I correct in saying that that's the expectation?
Sounds great on
older?
paper, Craig. You know.
All right. It doesn't always work out, and I'm going to admit a version of me not having it work out recently. My wife and I went to a beach in Texas, which I still sort of joke about. And I shouldn't, because I know it's the ocean much more than like Chicago's lake. Even if it's a very big lake, it's still not the ocean. I know that this is the same, but it's still the Gulf. It's not, whatever. So I went to the beach with her, and we're in the car, and I told the missus I'm not putting on any sunscreen. I'll be fine. It's one day on the beach. I'll be fine. And she looked at me, she's like, that's a very stupid decision. And I'm like, when I was a little kid, I did this all the time. And it only backfired most of the time. And I am so sunburned, guys, and it's mostly over now. So if you're watching on Zoom, you're seeing the end results of a peeling, horrible situation over the last week. But all it's been, Matt, is her bringing up, like, you should have put on the sunscreen, and me keep thinking that, yeah, I learned that as a kid, and I still can't fix that problem. So I'm outing myself for something I'm still not doing right as an adult that I failed to do right as a kid.
I mean, she has this for the rest of your lives. She's going to be able to bring this up. And maybe she should. I mean, do you have a lot of suntan experience so far here, like in August? I mean, for the summer, do you have like a base or a little bit of color to you? But are you dark-skinned naturally?
No, I'm not.
Okay,
none of those things.
So we don't have any of that. Were you wearing a long-sleeve shirt? You know,
I was not.
Okay.
No.
Okay. I mean,
I go into the water. The other thing that's funny about me is it doesn't matter what type of body of water I'm in front of. I'm going to go in it. I don't know why people go to the beach and don't go into the body of water. So, like, that's... Yeah.
Runoff.
Right, yeah, whatever. I'm going in that runoff, baby. I'm having some fun in that runoff. No, I don't get it. Why do you go to the beach or the lake or whatever you're going to and not go in the water? Isn't that the point? Why are we there?
I'm totally with you. You got to go in the water. I mean, especially if you're guys like us who didn't grow up around salt water or a beach. I mean, I see a beach and I'm like, oh, kiddie pool. Phew. You know, I run right in. I mean, there's something about us Midwesterners, whenever we do get around, you know, a Gulf or an ocean, we have to be in it. It could be littered with sharks. We have to be in it. And we're going to go in because, I mean, we don't get to very often. We don't know what our next chance to do it is going to be.
I like that. I grew up in Jersey across the street from the ocean, but I love what you just said there about the Midwest.
I'm trying to make you excuses right now.
No, that would have been great, dude. And I lived in Indiana for a while, so I did lose the ocean for a bit. I don't know what it is about me, man. I'll go into any body of water. There's no good reason for it. I just don't like sitting in a place where I think the attraction is the giant thing in front of us and nobody does it. I don't understand.
Well, my dad always said, you know, red tide, if you're scared of red tide, you're a wussy. You know, so he would actually take me by my britches and throw me into an ocean full of red tide and be like, now you're a man.
Yeah. Okay. I love the fact that you mentioned that because it reminded me of something else too. There had just been a storm in the area I was in Texas. So the waves were amazing in the Gulf, but there was a giant sign as we walked onto the beach that said, do not go in the water. And I just ignored that completely. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what happened to that situation either, but it is what it is.
My arm fell off when I got out of the water. Something about it. Never felt worse in my life.
Yeah. Is there anything that you've done recently that is a lesson you were supposed to learn as a child and you didn't?
Oh wow! Like every day I have 5 of them. It's an ongoing
I'm still in
process.
radio, and I shouldn't be in radio anymore. Yeah.
Exactly. I think the big thing would be like, and I'm so much better about this, you know, because I mean I'm in my mid-40s. I better be better at it. But just with impulsive spending, you know, I still struggle with that, like with Amazon Marketplace, and like actually buying things on Amazon because of Amazon.com. I have like 12 things of protein at home. Exercise stuff. I've always have to be ahead of that restock date.
Yeah.
And it comes down to impulsive spending because I'll get the one thing and I'll be like, oh man, you don't have enough oatmeal. Or, oh man, you don't have enough of this. So, you know, I start buying all this stuff online and it's just kind of indicative of that childhood behavior. Oh, wow, you know, this video game's here. You know, I have my allowance money. I'm going to go get this. But it does remind me of when I was a kid and maybe have some work to do there, you know.
You know, that's a great answer. And actually, anyone that is watching our live stream on YouTube, Twitter, all the places it is, I'm going to hold up my Frost Buddy, which is a New York Yankee Frost Buddy. Do you know what a Frost Buddy is or no?
No, I've never heard of one.
So it's a thing that you put a drink in that keeps it colder. It's called Frost Buddy. So it's just a giant metal thing that you put a can inside of. And my wife and I had the largest fight about the value of this item that I'm holding up in front of the computer right now. She thinks it's absolutely the stupidest thing that anyone could ever purchase. Amazon made me buy it because they put it on sale, and I love it. I think it's the best thing I've ever owned, Matt. What's that?
How much?
What'd you say, Carl? How much is it supposed to be is the right question, right? It's supposed to be like $50, which makes no sense because it's not even actually. I know. It's
That's
not even
caramel money.
A cup. But it was $20. So that's a 60% savings on the old Frost Buddy. So I had to buy it, guys. It had to be purchased.
No, and I totally get that. I do want to caution you. You're spending money against your wife's will, and you're not taking advice about your health from your wife. So, listen, I've never been married in my life. I have no kids, so I'm not going to give you marital advice, but you may want to temper some of that a little bit. You know, just kind of roll
I got
back.
you. Know, I'm hearing what you're saying. You know what, Matt?
What do I know? What do I know? I know nothing. I know nothing. But.
You're not the only friend that's given me that advice recently. It's been like, you know what? It really sounds like there's a lot of mistakes being made, and the missus might just strangle you in your sleep at some point here. Oh, well, we'll see.
That's all right. What a way to go.
You know? It would be a way to go. Yeah, you're right.
I'd be in the news.
You know what's also funny about that? I know we got like 1 minute. There's these videos. My wife is from Mexico. She's Latina, of Latin women throwing shoes, chanclas, or it's just like a flip-flop, at guys' heads and hitting a cup on top of it and not hitting their head. I told my wife we should try this, and then I immediately realized it's a terrible idea right now because all she's going to do is hit me in the head.
I think it's an amazing game. I think if it's a TikTok challenge, this is the only TikTok challenge worthy. I think that's
there we go. Yeah.
Next to the ALS challenge, that was worthy, but this is,
this is better.
I think this is a lot of fun. Yeah,
exactly. Well, it's amazing how accurate the women have been on the thing, because they say that they're born with this ability to throw a flip-flop with precision.
That's awesome.
And yet she'll do it on purpose to hit me in the face. All right, we'll take a break. A lot to talk about today, a lot to get to. Kilmar Garcia going somewhere. Matt's got your traffic.
Northbound 65 slow after South Keystone Avenue into the South Split because of construction, and everything else is looking pretty good here for the moment. I don't see any trouble coming in from the Boone County. Lebanon on their way to work today on southbound 65, looking fantastic from State Road 32 down to 865, the dogleg in your trip into downtown. No problems at the moment. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Make summer nights unforgettable with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get 50% off a stunning fire pit with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry, offer ends September 1st. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. I'm Matt Baer with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Hey, this is Rob.
And this is Casey.
Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here Monday.
If we're lucky. Join us Monday, 9 until noon on 93 WIBC.
Everyone knows that PA Jewelers in Brownsburg is the place to get one-of-a-kind jewelry pieces. Diamonds, gold, gemstones, watches, everything. But PA Jewelers at the farmhouse is also the place to sell your jewelry, your watches, your coins, your bullion. PA Jewelers has the best prices and the best payouts. And they walk you through the process so you know what your pieces are worth and what you're getting. PA Jewelers at the farmhouse, 3750 South Green Street in Brownsburg, or online at pajewelers.jewelry. That's pajewelers.jewelry.
When you own a business, it feels like everything's on you. Orders, deliveries, employees, on you. That's why Comcast Business is giving you a year of mobile on us with your internet service.
Really?
Yep. We'll cover your first line of mobile for 1 year. So calling customers, getting directions, texting Janine and shipping, on us. The broken coffee maker? That one's still on you, which means you'll save hundreds for your business and get the fastest mobile service with 5G cellular and Wi-Fi hotspots on us. But hurry, this deal won't last long. Get a mobile plan and free up the budget to maybe, I don't know, fix that coffee maker? Get mobile on us for 1 year, you guessed it, on us. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 10/9/25. Restrictions apply. New mobile customers only with internet standard service or above. Limited to value of 1 unlimited intra-line apply via 12 monthly internet bill credits. 1 discount per account. Fastest mobile based on mobile Wi-Fi and cellular data in service areas. Ookla Speed Test Intelligence 2H24.
This isn't just racing. It's pure chaos on wheels. The Night of Thrills returns to Anderson Speedway Saturday, August 30th. Get thrilled with the max with figure 8 racing, Prairie Farms trailer races, and a whole lot more. One night, one track, unlimited adrenaline. Tickets are $20. $5 for kids 6 to 12, and free for kids 5 and under. Tickets at AndersonSpeedway.com. Gates open at 4 with thrills set to begin at 7. Don't just watch the action. Feel it. Bring the family and see why everyone is saying, I'd rather be at Anderson Speedway.
We play fair in Indiana, but Washington insiders want to cheat. They want taxpayers to spend millions to redraw legislative maps approved just 4 years ago. That's not democracy. It's a power grab, and they're hoping you won't notice. Thankfully, some of our leaders are saying no to D.C. politics. Tell politicians Hoosiers don't cheat. Protect our votes and get back to focusing on our real problems. Join the team at playfairindiana.com. Paid for by Indiana Conservation Voters.
Discussing end-of-life matters can be uncomfortable, but it's also necessary to ensure that loved ones' wishes are well known ahead of time. This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. Up next, I'll share suggestions to help ease anxiety surrounding the talk.
Cardon & Associates provides residents with the best senior living options and personalized service. Visit cardon.us to find a community near you.
Direct, open, and honest conversation is the best way to discuss end-of-life wishes. Knowing your loved one's preferred treatments and desired arrangements will ready everyone for when the time comes. Also helpful, creating a will or trust to ensure assets are distributed accordingly. And consider an end-of-life doula to assist your family during the process. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joy's House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access the library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Is it too early to discuss the 28 presidential election? Nothing on radar. 58 degrees on Monument Circle, going up to 72 today. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 6:30. Vice President J.D. Vance could already be positioning himself to lead the Republican Party in 28.
A Wall Street Journal report last week hinted Elon Musk may be backing off his plan to start a third political party to possibly back Vice President Vance in 2028. Musk has said that isn't true. On NBC's Meet the Press, the vice president did not directly address the report, but did say,
if I do a good job, and if the president continues to be successful, as I know that he will be, the politics will take care of itself. We can cross that bridge when we come to it.
The vice president added that as far as he's concerned, the next consequential election is the midterms in 2026, not the 2028 presidential race. For now, he wants to focus on governing the country.
That's Fox's Gurnell Scott reporting. Lockdowns and evacuations took place Sunday in South Carolina after unconfirmed reports of an active shooter took place at the University of South Carolina. There was also a hoax at Villanova University in Philadelphia earlier in the week. USC issued a shelter-in-place alert for its students at about 6:30, telling them to evacuate or stay inside. School leaders later confirmed no shooter was present at Villanova. A second false report this week briefly interrupted campus activity. A beloved Olive Garden fan favorite is back.
Olive Garden's never-ending pasta bowl is back on the menu. It's the fourth consecutive year for the promotion, which runs through November 16th, and the company says it's keeping the price at $13.99, but could vary by location. Dining out for less has largely been a thing of the past. The National Restaurant Association says menu prices at eateries across the country have gone up by more than 30% in the past 5 years. The never-ending pasta bowl debuted at Olive Garden in the 1990s, and the chain says customers can mix and match pasta and sauce for up to 96 possible combinations. Hope you're hungry. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
And I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. Traffic, weather, and sports together in 3 minutes. It's 6:32.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio. I'm Gary Dick. U.S. Steel founded the city of Gary in 1906, and now the largest integrated steel mill in the world is preparing for a new owner in Japan's Nippon Steel and a new future. Nippon says it will invest $3.1 billion into the iconic Gary Works Mill in northwest Indiana. And Gary Mayor Eddie Melton says it will be a key piece of building momentum in the city, which has endured more than its share of challenges.
Well, as you know, I was state senator for 2 terms here in Indianapolis in General Assembly. Senate Bill 434 was a bill that I passed my last session, and it provides funding for us to have matching dollars, $5 million for the next 20 years, which will be partnering with the Hard Rock Casino in the city of Gary to build a $140 million convention center. That's going to be a catalyst right on 8094, one of the most busiest highways in North America, 300,000 cars a day. So building off of that with a brand new hotel and 2 additional hotels that a private developer will be building as well.
A new report from the Community Foundation of Southern Indiana says investments made by the organization over the past 4 years have generated millions in additional funding. The foundation's Quality of Place program has awarded $700,000 in grants to 6 projects since 2021 to boost parks, greenways, and gathering spaces in Clark and Floyd counties. Lawrence-based software firm Schneider Geospatial has more than doubled its employee base over the past 3 years. Now says that growth will continue with its acquisition of Boston-based Full Circle Technologies. Financial terms of that acquisition not disclosed. From the state's #1 source for Indiana business news, you're listening to Inside Indiana Business Radio.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America are men and women building roads and bridges to get Hoosiers where they're going today and a new energy infrastructure that will keep Indiana competitive tomorrow. LIUNA's over 12,000 statewide members also grow local economies, earning good union wages, shopping where they live and work, and paying taxes. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
Today, you either innovate or evaporate. We are accelerating the pursuit of progress, from the foods we eat to the heights we soar, because this is Indiana, the innovation capital of the world. We rally visionaries across industries, investing connections as much as capital, and fuel our founders from dorm room to boardroom. Fuel your innovation with Elevate Ventures. Visit elevateventures.com.
The Indiana Chamber of Commerce has opened nominations for the 2026 Best Places to Work in Indiana competition. The program honors businesses of all sizes throughout the state through employer reports and employee surveys. This is Gary Dick for 93 WIBC.
Southside northbound 65 stop and go traffic before Raymond Street into the south split. That's because of road construction. And then northbound 65 out of the north split, slow to West Street. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Make summer nights unforgettable with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get 50% off a stunning fire pit with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry, offer ends September 1st. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. It looks like we're going to have a beautiful day today in downtown Indianapolis. It is currently 55 degrees. The high will be 72. Just a few clouds in the sky. Really gorgeous out there. That weather is brought to you by the National American Standard Heating and Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC. I think I sort of got that right. With sports, Brian Hedrick.
Greg, what up? Last night in Minnesota, the Fever shorthanded again, missing 5 players, including Caitlin Clark, for the 15th straight game. Kept it close early, but the third quarter went left, and they lost the game 97-84.
It's just being locked in for 40 minutes. You know, we're a team that's still reintegrating new pieces, and we got to find a way to make it click.
And that's head coach Stephanie White. The Fever played the Seattle Storm at home Tuesday. Former Notre Dame quarterback Riley Leonard threw for 189 yards, and the Indianapolis Colts 41-14 preseason finale win over the Cincinnati Bengals Saturday.
Got nothing to lose. Go out there, let it fly, have some fun. That's just kind of been the mindset, you know, not giving the defense too much credit.
Leonard threw his first touchdown pass, a 59-yard strike. The Colts kick off the regular season against the Miami Dolphins on September 7th. Sports brought to you by Ball State Athletics. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level on the go and at WIBC.com.
Pierce Jewelers is the best family-owned jewelry store in Carmel. All jewelry and watch repair, appraisals, and custom design are done in-house. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Here's my story, it's sad but true. It's about a girl that I once knew.
Tony Katz, the Morning News. 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Thrilled to be with you. Lots of stuff out there to talk about. Chicago is in the news a lot right now. Just a stone's throw from Indianapolis. The biggest conversation, well, a hard throw with a stone, I guess I should say. Very hard. But a few things that are in the news then involve the reaction to the idea that Trump may send, and this is actually another great example of how language changes to make it sound different than the reality of something, because he's not actually going to send troops from D.C. The state of Illinois has its own National Guard, and President Trump is in charge of it. And by the way, there is a code in the U.S. Constitution that outlines when the president is allowed to do certain things. He referenced it himself when he sent, and again, he didn't actually send them. I should stop using that word. But he activated troops in California. It's Title 10 of the U.S. Code, Section 12406, if you want to put that on your bingo card. It allows the president to activate the National Guard, to repel an invasion, to suppress a rebellion, or to allow the president, and this is important, to execute the law. And in places like Chicago, I think some would argue the law is not really being executed at all, that there's a whole lot of things they're doing that definitely skirt and ignore what should be the law, like that crime is illegal and you should fight it to the best of your ability. So this seems like the type of fight that Brandon Johnson will lose, just like anyone Gavin Newsom lost before him. But it doesn't seem to be stopping Johnson. He's out there yelling and screaming about how terrible this is, about how awful things would be if essentially the city were less dangerous and violent, which, by the way, is an amazing thing that is becoming a left versus right talking point discussion. And it's crazy to me that it's becoming that, where the left is saying they want crime, because it seems fairly easy for the right to be like, hey, we don't like crime. We think crime is bad. And that will be a winning conversation with most of America. It's just insane that the left wants to be on the other side of that. But here's a little bit of audio of Brandon Johnson, who popped up on MSNBC.
I'm going to play something else President Trump said on Friday with regard to your city.
Chicago's a mess. You have an incompetent mayor.
That's
grossly
true.
incompetent.
Yep. Oh, that's true.
And we'll straighten that one out probably next. That'll be our next one after this. And it won't even be tough.
I love the fact that they played that for Brandon Johnson, by the way, before asking the question, because he is grossly incompetent. And it won't be hard if you let people do the job the way they want to do it. There's cops, there's members of our military all throughout the country that know what it takes to clean a place like Chicago up. I've actually talked to Chicago cops about this when I was in media in that city. And they would say that they know what steps they would take if they wanted the South Side to be much safer. But they also know that the politicians wouldn't have their back, that media would attack them for the way in which they might go about it, and that anything they did that was entirely legal would be shaped as illegal and cause headaches throughout the police department. So they can't behave the way they want to because they're not allowed to. Here's how Johnson responded to this, by the way.
Yes.
Your reaction to what you just heard.
Yeah. Well, listen, the president of the United States.
I'm sorry. I loved the first version when he was confused, because if he had just said yes and then moved on, it would have been the best.
America has repeated this, petulant presentation since he has assumed office. And, if the reporting is actually true, what he is proposing at this point would be the most flagrant violation of our Constitution in the 21st century.
Yeah, no. By the way, he did send or activate troops in California, even though Gavin Newsom said no and said that it was constitutionally not allowed, and nothing happened, by the way. So, Brandon, that's not going to be the winning argument, just an FYI. But he doesn't even care about that, because the funny thing is that Brandon Johnson would love to have the city cleaned up as he protested against it vocally, because he somehow thinks it's winning him votes. And even in a place like Chicago, the narrative will only last so long, because if the streets got safer, if people were capable of, say, doing more later at night in certain neighborhoods, they would be a supporter of the end result of this, which would be the whole thing that I think Republicans are trying to do. If you don't think our words make sense, use your own eyes, your own experience to tell you which side you like, which side you agree with. And it seems as though the idea would be to demonstrate how easy this actually is. All right, we'll take a break. A lot coming up. It's Craig Collins filling in. Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
Scrolling all day. Clickbait everywhere. But the facts, they're harder to find.
WIBC didn't just report the story. They explained why it matters.
I'm Brian Hedrick on The Level on the go.
I check the WIBC website every morning before I even open social media.
Online, on social, on air. Stay in the know while you're on the go.
You've got to stay in the know.
Stay informed.
Now more than ever,
we have information.
93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
When it comes to your home, it's important to sell it to someone you can trust. Simple Quarters has helped over 3,000 families sell their homes in Indiana.
I'm excited to start the new chapter of my life. I'm going to be moving 2 states away to be with my husband. Ronnie came out to do my walkthrough. It was great. We had a chance to talk about the house. We had a chance to listen to what my goals were, and they helped me to meet them. Then I had the offer, I believe, within 2 hours of them coming through and doing the walkthrough. Simple Quarters never tried to change their offer at any point during the process. Once they gave me that offer, it stood. The offer was absolutely fair. They did explain to me how they came to that price, and it was a fair offer. The best part about this process is I didn't have to make any repairs to the house. Simple Quarters has taken it as is, which is a huge stress relief. It just couldn't have worked out better. It really couldn't have.
Call Simple Quarters 317-900-HOME. 317-900-HOME.
Hi, this is Chris Cox, owner of Chimney Solutions, Indiana. We're celebrating our 10th year in business. Call this month to take advantage of 10% off all chimney sweeps and inspections. We're also celebrating the opening of our new fireplace showroom on 86th Street and Lafayette Road. Come and experience our exclusive lines of wood-burning and gas fireplaces.
Call 317-757-6979 or chimneyindy.com.
Matt Bear, how do the roads look?
South side crash, northbound 65 in the south split. We are slow past Raymond Street. Westbound 70 slow into the north split, then drags over the flyover ramp out to West Street and after Meridian Penn. Everything else looking okay right now at the moment. If you're heading to the airport from downtown, westbound 70 looks fantastic from the entrances from downtown, like West Street, Meridian, and then taking 70 on out to the airport without any incident or delay at the moment. If that changes, I'll let you know. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Makes summer nights unforgettable with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get 50% off a stunning fire pit with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry, offer ends September 1st. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Increased clouds, but a high of 72, 55 right now. Beautiful, beautiful day in store in Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
Hilltop Hideaway, a premier Brown County log cabin on 5 wooded acres, has fall availability. August discounts, too. HilltopHideawayLogCabin.com. Listen to Hammer and Nigel all this week for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Billy Idol and Joan Jett and the Blackhearts Saturday, August 30th at Ruoff Music Center.
I took my troubles down to Madame Ruth.
Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in for the day. You got Matt, you have Carl hanging out as they do every single morning on this show. What's a weird flex that you've heard someone share with you? This is a story that went viral. I think it was BuzzFeed and then Reddit, who both put versions of this up there. But people were sharing weird things that other people bragged about to them. One of those was a manager who bragged they hadn't listened to music in 15 years because they didn't have the time. They're so busy they couldn't turn on a song, which seems like a weird thing to be proud of. Another guy who is in his 60s bragged about not eating fruits or vegetables for his entire life and that he's still alive. This is something that apparently makes him and children laugh, but annoys his son, who, would wish Grandpa would shut up about that. And then finally, one last one that I like is an example of this before we share some of ours. A boss that said that everybody's handwriting was terrible in the workplace and that she had won a handwriting award in 3rd grade that she apparently was still proud of, even though it had been about 60 years. Anybody have a weird flex they want to share on the show?
I would say it has anything to do with this was more my it's more my youth or anything. We're just talking about how much you could drink, Yeah. That
sure.
was always a strange flex to me, and I was the only one really doing it. But, it still kind of exists. How much, the quality, like anytime you're spending money for people, too, like there was always the guy who was buying rounds. I was buying rounds of Patron for everybody at the bar. And it was like, okay. And now as we were older in our back of our head, it was like, man, I really hope everybody made it home safely.
Yeah, I also wish I hadn't bought a few of those rounds. I wish I had some of that money still.
When it's Patron, baby, woo! There goes your rent.
I have one that's very similar to the handwriting one. I brag about the fact that in 4th grade, not 3rd grade, so much more recently, I made it to the all-star team for the baseball Little League in New Jersey. And we were like 2 steps away from going to the Little League World Series thing. Not the final game, but getting into the tournament in the first place. But we didn't. And I still brag about that today. I went out on top in the world of baseball in about 4th grade.
You were that close to making the New York Yankees.
I really was. It was between me and Jorge Posada to be their next catcher. And unfortunately, I lost. But yeah, no, that's a brag for me. Carl, do you have one?
I get to work with you guys?
Oh, nice. I like that you consider that like a weird flex. Like you don't. You know what's funny about that too is actually I remember this. You guys know who Skip Bayless is, right?
He's a professional sports commentator.
He is, yes. I did an interview with him when I was at a station in Indiana, in South Bend, Indiana, ESPN there. And I remember he just made fun of the producer job in small market radio. Now, granted, Indianapolis is not small market, but all he did for like 5 minutes on air is like, oh, Craig has no real job. His job's a joke. This guy, look at him. He shows up every day to work and does so little. And I was like, what is happening, Skip Bayless? And he thought it was funny. And so did my boss, who was on the air with me. And I did not find any part of that amusing. But that was a thing that happened. which maybe would be a weird flex now to say that Skip Bayless ripped on my profession years ago.
Yeah, it was like hardy har. Look at this guy. I mean, he doesn't make as much money as me. I mean, he's low-hanging fruit, or I'm going to punch down now. I mean,
How nice is that guy?
Yeah, it's just the attitude to begin with. It's just the idea that for some reason you are on a pedestal, and then you can kind of sit, on top of your self-righteous ivory tower and be like, oh, this guy's never going to be, that kind of stuff. It absolutely drives me crazy. I've experienced it. I've seen it done to other people, and I never like it. Just
no. How dare you?
It's
How
ghoulish.
dare you, sir?
Ghoulish.
By the way, I worked really hard at ESPN in South Bend, Indiana. That was a very difficult job. I had to go and talk to the Notre Dame football players all the time because that was the only story in South Bend, Indiana ever. It's the only thing. It could be the middle of the winter, and they're like, we're not really doing football right now. But Craig, go check on the Notre Dame football team.
You didn't do anything with the Silverhawks.
I actually was their announcer.
Oh, cool! That is so cool. Small world.
I was the PA announcer for the South Bend, so who are now the South Bend Cubs.
Yes.
But when they were the Silverhawks, and several different players that are now famous athletes. Justin Upton, one of the best among them, played for that team while I was there. And actually, I hit one of the guys with my car, which is another story for another day.
What?
Wait,
no, you have to talk about it now.
He was in a car too.
Okay.
So I didn't hit him, outside. But no, Will Crouch is the name of a former catcher for the South Bend Silverhawks, who I don't think ever made it to Major League Baseball.
Well, you hit him with your car. Of course you
did. I ruined his – and on the 4th of July, I rear-ended him. And I was in a rental, I think, which made it even worse. I don't know why I was in a rental. Something must have been going on with my car. And he was in a rental, and he had a gorgeous woman in the passenger side seat with him. And they popped out, and I'm like, this woman can't be from South Bend. She's not. She wasn't born here. Yeah. But no, and then the cop came by, and he was being real nice to Will Crouch because I guess he recognized him. And then, I kept trying to talk so that they'd notice my voice, and no one did because I was a PA announcer. And then eventually I'm like, I work with you. And he goes, you're on my team? And I'm like, I'm not. You would know that. I'm upstairs in the booth. And so he just let me go. We never got in any sort of fight. But
well, that's good. I mean, you run into the guy because you're jealous of his hot wife. And for some reason, and I don't understand this, in South Bend, you don't get street cred for being the Silverhawks PA announcer. And I think that's garbage.
But I did thank you. You're defending a lot of the things that I've done early on in my career map there.
Everything's got to be Notre Dame in South Bend. Got to be the
and honestly, it's funny that you asked that because the South Bend Silverhawks gig got me the ESPN gig. Because I was there, the guy from ESPN was in the stadium one day and like, hey, I need a producer. Can you do that? And I'm like, yeah, I can do that. And now I'm in radio because of that, actually. If that series of events hadn't, and what's really funny? This is, no one cares, but I'm going to tell this really quickly. I wasn't hired to be the announcer. I was hired to be the video board operator. And the second day, the dude who was supposed to announce did not show up. He was done after one game. He was like, I don't want to do this. And so I got to announce the second game of the season and then took it from there and then got hired into radio and never looked back. That's a real version of events for my start in radio.
You're saying all these terrible things that happened to you were the reason you got into radio.
Yeah, and they led me to right here, getting to talk to you and Carl on the radio, which apparently is good. I'm saying that I've led myself to a good place.
It's kind of like me saying if I hadn't taken my brother's car and went nosedived into a ditch in high school, that I would have been a star football player. I mean, it kind of feels like the same thing. The cop walked up and he said, you're lucky to be alive. And I'm like, man, this is going to ruin my career.
Yeah, that's true. That is. I wonder if Will Crouch does blame me for not making the MLB. He's like, the announcer rear-ended me, and then my career went in the tank.
He's got a Craig shrine, rock shrine in his basement.
I'm going to look up where he is. I want to know where that guy is. He was the least fun name to say, by the way, of the entire team. So many other names were way more fun than Will Crouch to announce. All right, we'll take a break.
Well, it just wasn't your gig, It just wasn't your gig.
Yeah, although now I was just mean to the guy that I rear-ended, so really I'm just making it worse. All right, quick break, a lot coming up. This is Craig Collins filling in. Matt's got your traffic.
East side, northbound 465 slow from Brookville Road up to Washington Street. Crash northbound 65 in the south, a little bit slow back to Raymond Street. That's a construction zone. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Make summer nights unforgettable with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get 50% off a stunning fire pit with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry, offer ends September 1st. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. That's IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
Hi, this is Denny Smith for Exercise Inc. I've been working out there now for nearly 2 decades, and let me tell you, it works. I'm in my 70s now, and I'm doing things on the farm that I couldn't even do in my 40s. Lifting and carrying, working the way I want to, without worrying if my body can keep up. Now that's real strength. That's real results. What makes Exercise Inc. different? Well, it's the people. The professional staff, many with over 15 years of experience, know exactly how to guide me, support me, and push me to be my very strongest because they know what works. It only takes 20 minutes a week. No wasted time, no crowded gyms, just real results. If you're tired of feeling weaker, if you want more energy and strength for everyday life, give this a try. The consultation is free, and I can promise you it's worth it. Exercise Inc. It's helped me stay strong for nearly 20 years. They can help you too. Go to exerciseinc.com today to sign up. They've got locations in Avon, Brownsburg, Zionsville, and Greenwood, and in Fishers too. That's exerciseinc.com.
Central Indiana knows tough, but your water shouldn't be. Indiana ranks among the hardest water in the country, and your home is paying the price. Connecticut's non-electric technology means no timer, settings, or headaches, just water that works, even when the power doesn't. And the twin tank design means clean, soft water 24/7. Connecticut water softeners are the solution, made in the U.S. Visit ConnecticutIndy.com and mention Made in the U.S. for an additional $250 off your purchase of a softener. Connecticut, American-made, Midwest tough.
At Verizon, lock in a low price on the most reliable 5G in Indianapolis and be the best you. Stream your favorite music on your morning commute. Get tickets to that new Blockbuster and save big with Verizon while you do it all. Switch today and pay $50 a month for a single line. That's right, just $50 a month when you bring in your phone on unlimited welcome with autopay plus taxes and fees. Stop by your nearest Verizon store today. $15 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Rankings based on root metrics, root score report data 1H 2025. Your results may vary. Additional terms apply.
Why do so many basement companies want half the money up front? Could it be because it's easier to get than earning all your trust? At the Michaelis Corporation, they don't ask for a deposit until the job is done and you're completely satisfied. They even start with a free inspection to ensure you know exactly what your home needs without the guesswork. With over 35 years experience, they've proven that trust is built on results, not deposits. Michaelis, building trust beneath your feet. Visit michaeliscorp.com.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Road trip! This summer at Tire Discounters, your tires are your passport to savings, because you're driving to Paris,
Texas!
Then it's off to Rome,
Georgia!
And you'll be kissing the Blarney Stone in Dublin,
Ohio!
Right now, save up to $404 when you buy 4 tires, and that includes a free alignment and oil change. Stop at Tire Discounters before you see the world.
In the construction business, you're only as good as your tools. That's why Quality Supply and Tool offers DeWalt products, like the 20-volt Max XR cordless 3-speed half-inch hammer drill. Buy one and get a 5-amp-hour battery free. That's a $100 value. Or buy 2 DeWalt 60-volt Max FlexVolt 12-amp-hour batteries and get one free. Only at Quality Supply and Tool and only while supplies last, or September 26th. With locations in West Lafayette, Bloomington, Jeffersonville, and Indianapolis, Quality Supply and Tool thinks outside the box. Store.
Can't win playing by traditional sets of rules.
93 WIBC.
Eric Menendez explained why he killed his mother.
Another update.
It is an event about culture.
It's just minutes away.
Community and tradition.
We're going to continue our commitment to eliminate this DEI nonsense.
Trying to make sense of it all.
Child sex abuse material on several devices that he owns.
Stay in the know.
They continue to fight and they continue to kill people.
Higher tariffs are remaking the global trading system.
On air, online, and on Alexa.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recyclers Studios, what some people were protesting on Sunday in Johnson County, what Indianapolis police say happened at a Subway restaurant last night, and Jake McDaniel has a report on a late Hoosier business owner whose name is synonymous with racing. After Fox News, you are listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It is 7 o'clock.
Point
point of no return. I'm Angelo Bavaro, Fox News. Illegal Salvadorian Kilmer Abrego Garcia set to report to immigration authorities in Baltimore this morning, facing deportation to Uganda.
Kilmer Abrego Garcia is expected to show up at the ICE office there just days after he was released from a Tennessee jail. He is in the country illegally, of course, and faces human smuggling charges. He's been offered a deal to be removed to Costa Rica if he pleads guilty to those charges. If he doesn't accept that offer, he could be taken to Uganda. Now, Abrego Garcia became the focus of critics of the president's illegal immigration crackdown after he was mistakenly deported to El Salvador. Now, during his time in El Salvador, Abrego Garcia was visited by Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen.
Fox's Doug Luzader there. Senator Van Hollen continues to defend Abrego Garcia and his trip to El Salvador. President Trump planning to expand his crime and immigration crackdown to other cities, much like what's playing out right now in Washington, D.C. Fox's Lucas Tomlinson.
One place President Trump is weighing sending forces is to Chicago next, but the mayor says that's not happening and said, quote, what is the president doing? He's declared a war on poor people. You know, picking on homeless people, you know, picking on the most vulnerable. That is not what the people of Chicago are going to stand for. Over 2,000 National Guard soldiers patrolling the streets of the nation's capital. Maryland Governor Wes Moore invited President Trump to visit Baltimore. He also rejected the idea of the Guard coming into the city with the second highest murder rate this year. Over 50 citizens killed per 100,000 residents.
The White House crediting President Trump's crackdown in D.C. with hundreds of arrests. 19 people are dead, including 4 journalists, after an Israeli strike hit a southern Gaza's main hospital on Monday. That's according to the Gaza's Hamas-run health ministry. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
When hundreds of people were protesting on Sunday, nothing on radar, 59 degrees in downtown Indianapolis, going up to 72. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 7:02. People from across Indiana gathered on Sunday in Johnson County to voice their opposition about using Camp Atterbury as an ICE detention center.
About 200 protesters gathered at a park just outside Camp Atterbury here in Johnson County. They say its planned use as an ICE detention facility is an affront to its history.
No more ICE in our streets!
These protesters say holding hundreds of suspected illegal immigrants at Camp Atterbury amounts to repeating history, and not in a good way.
So I came out here today to protest what are essentially concentration camps in America. I have been to Warsaw, Poland. I have done World War II history. I have been to a Treblinka, which is a memorial.
The group ended its demonstration with a drive-by protest outside Camp Atterbury's main gate.
And that's Wish TV's Garrett Berquist reporting from Johnson County. Indiana will join 18 other states in deploying National Guard members to support federal immigration officers. According to the White House, these 1,700 Guard members will help out U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement with transportation and intelligence, but they will not be making any arrests. A subway along 10th Street on the Near East Side was broken into Sunday morning, say police. A cash register worth about $2,500 and a coin dispenser valued at nearly $2,000 were taken. The restaurant is reviewing the incident as police continue to look into what happened. A man whose name is on Lucas Oil Stadium passed away Saturday. Jake McDaniel has the details.
Forrest Lucas founded and started Lucas Oil Products in 1989 with his wife, Charlotte. They built it into a global leader in automotive lubricants and a major sponsor in motorsports. The company holds the naming rights to Lucas Oil Stadium until 2026 and has a long-standing partnership with the National Hot Rod Association. They named its Indianapolis drag racing track in his honor. Lucas was a native in Ramsey, Indiana. He was 83. They say the Lucas Oil Company has been deeply involved in almost every type of racing on the planet.
But drag racing has always been a bit more special than all the rest.
The NHRA said on social media, Lucas will be greatly missed and was a true visionary. Jake McDaniel, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And the Indiana Fever played without 5 players last night, including Caitlin Clark, for the 15th game in a row and lost to the Minnesota Lynx 97-84. They return home Tuesday to play the Seattle Storm. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level on the go and at WIBC.com. At 7:05, traffic on the 5s. Good morning, Matt Bear.
What's happening, Ryan? Looking at the south side, northbound 65. It's slow from Raymond Street into the south split. That's because of the construction zone. And for those hopping on US 31 Madison Avenue to avoid the construction, I'm sorry, it's more construction, especially on Madison Avenue, like in that area of Terrace where the old BMV used to be. From 465 into downtown. Yeah, watch out on Madison Avenue in that area. Still under construction for a very long time. Traffic sponsored by Starbucks. Savor the summer at Starbucks. From refreshers to cold brews, the sunniest season only gets better with an iced beverage in your hand. Available for a limited time at Starbucks. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Wish TV meteorologist, is it Tara Hastings or Marcus Bailey? Who do we have with us right now?
It's Tara. Good morning.
Hey, Tara, good morning. Happy Monday. How does our weather look?
Hey, happy Monday. It is on the chilly side this morning. We've got temperatures into the 50s this morning under mostly clear skies. We'll look for lots of sunshine into the afternoon with highs right around 73. So we're going to be about 10 degrees below normal. Mostly clear skies tonight. We'll fall to 51. And some spots may dip into the 40s outside of the city. We could get awfully close to some record low temperatures over the next couple of mornings. Sunny skies on Tuesday, 73, and sunshine continues on Wednesday with the below normal temperatures right around 74.
Thank you very much, Tara. Right now it is 7:06 Monday morning.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Pierce Jewelers and Carmel, designers of fine custom jewelry.
Tony Katz, Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Thrilled to be with you. Tony will be back tomorrow. Kilmar Abrego Garcia, likely to be deported again in the very near future. Not to the same place this time. I think he's very likely to go to Uganda. That's at least what the information has been as of yesterday. On Face the Nation, Margaret Brennan brought on the governor of Maryland, his name is Wes Moore, and asked him about Kilmar and what he's going to do to try to protect the Maryland man, as a lot of media calls him, from being sent somewhere he's not, somewhere else than where he is right now, and he's not supposed to be here in this country. Granted, everything that would happen to him from this point moving forward would be to the letter of the law, as far as he's not allowed to be deported to a certain place. We won't send him there. We can send him anywhere else, though, and he doesn't get to stay here. I love how much politicians are going to claim that they're not giving him his due process. Here we go.
One of the residents of your state, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, was just released from pretrial detention on Friday. But the Trump administration's instructed him to report to ICE within 72 hours for deportation to Uganda. He's originally from El Salvador. He was mistakenly deported to that prison in El Salvador and then returned to the U.S. This is federal policy. This is not state policy. But I do wonder, is there anything that you are doing to help his family stay united?
Yeah, hold on. Before he answers that question, I can change what Margaret's, lead up was by saying that this is federal policy, not state policy. Essentially, you have no way to answer this question in any sort of valuable sense. Nothing you will say moving forward is going to inform our audience of anything that helps them be more knowledgeable about this. Essentially, both me and you are talking about this because we find it to be politically valuable and a win on the left to say that you're mad, but none of what you're about to say matters because you're not in charge.
What we know is that, and all we're asking for is that the Constitution be followed on this. The Constitution is very clear about how we deal with these types of issues. And when we look at what's happened in this situation, it's the president manipulating the fact that we have a very broken immigration system inside this country. But instead of actually doing the work that it requires to fix it, actually working in Congress to come up with a comprehensive immigration bill, the president is working to exploit the brokenness.
He's working to exploit the brokenness. It's crazy when the left says that, because they exploit the brokenness by flinging wide open the border and having a whole bunch of people come into our country illegally. but then they complain about the exploitation of the brokenness of the system. Look, I'm actually someone who's a supporter of the idea of changing immigration so more people could come legally into our country. But in order to do that, you can't ask for them to do that part first and then go ahead and plug the holes. The example I often give on air is it'd be like if someone was sinking in a boat and you had a giant hole in the middle of the boat and you're like, oh, that hole's bad. And then the guy in the back of the boat's like, yeah, we should fix the engine. You're like, no, we shouldn't. We should plug the hole. And he's like, nah, man, screw the hole. Let's get the engine going. It'll be way better. And then you keep sinking. So in order to even have that discussion, people like the governor out of Maryland need to understand that you actually have to give in to fixing the brokenness of the wide open border, which Trump has done a lot of himself, but there's still ways that Democrats exploit this. So let's change all that. And then maybe we revisit a conversation about how we can effectively create a better system to let people into the country legally. But it would never be to the degree that Democrats want, which is, again, part of the problem. They don't even do this in a good faith way. Here's a little more what he said.
And I'm very clear that there is no higher priority for me than public safety.
I want him to face a day in court, in other words.
Absolutely. I want due process. I just simply want a court and a judge to decide what is going to be the future fate of this case and all cases like this, and not simply the president of the United States.
All right. Yeah, I'm already annoyed. That's happened. Abrego Garcia has been in court. He's had certain rulings thrown at him in courtrooms before. There's been a bunch of discussion in the past. There doesn't need to be a revisiting of this again. They can just simply send him somewhere that's not El Salvador, and boom, we have exactly letter of the law followed version of things happening here. And he's not just a Maryland man. He's a guy who is suspected of being a human trafficker and also a member of MS-13. Those are things that seem to always be missing when the left talks about the individual. All right, we'll take a break. A lot coming up. This is Craig Collins filling in. Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
By now, you've heard about IndianaUnclaimed.gov. It's a way to claim your unclaimed property from the Indiana Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division. It's not a scam. It's not houses, boats, cars, or storage facilities. It isn't free money. So what exactly is it? It's your money. It belongs to you, and it's waiting for you to claim it. It's money from unclaimed wages or commissions, forgotten bank accounts, underlying shares, refunds, insurance proceeds, stock dividends, safe deposit box contents, overpayments, certificates of deposit, money orders, and more. The Indiana Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division safeguards those funds while trying to locate and return those funds to the owner or heir. It's your money, you deserve it, and the Attorney General's office wants to make sure you get it. The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Tony Katz to 46220. That's Tony Katz to 46220. Or visit IndianaUnclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
Community Health Network cares for your heart health. From heart scans and vascular screenings to complex heart procedures, you can count on our expert team for the highest quality cardiovascular care, when and where you need it. Your path to a healthy heart starts with knowing your risk. Schedule a heart scan or vascular screening today. Visit ecommunity.com/heart. Community Health Network. Exceptional care. Simply delivered.
Kendall and Casey.
The ultimate job of why we send people to Congress is not to be a teammate or an opposition to the president. It's to be a check and balance. If there's areas you agree, great, you vote together. If there's areas you don't agree, you push back. And all we see now in terms of our Congress is just, hey, if it's Democrat, it's blanket opposition. And if you're Republican, it's blatant errand boy behavior.
Kendall and Casey. Weekdays 9 till noon on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Hey, it's Mike Rowe, and if you want to do business with a company that actually stands for something, switch to Pure Talk. I did. Sure, I appreciate being on America's most dependable 5G network with unlimited talk and text for just $20 a month. But what I really appreciate is Pure Talk's commitment to our military and to our skilled workforce. That matters to me. Save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
Make this your year. Looking for a new career in the high-demand fields of IT and cybersecurity? Attend classes live online or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify. It's hot out there.
The weather's hot.
And when we say hot,
But the headlines, they're even hotter.
I mean extremely hot.
The news of the day is heating up.
IMPD officers shot at least 3 times. One suspect was also shot.
Diego Morales, Secretary of State, and his bizarro international travel.
Playing out right in front of us every single day.
Stay cool.
Finally, a cool down is coming.
Stay informed.
All the information right here.
Stay with 93 WIBC.
Matt Bear, how do our roads look?
Pretty good, Craig. We do have a couple of slowdowns here. Inbound 69, slow after 106th Street, past 82nd. And then looking at northbound 65 south side, that's stop-and-go traffic, Raymond into the south split. The crash is cleared in the south split, by the way, so we just have that slowdown going northbound. Traffic sponsored by Great Lakes Honda of Fishers. Honda of Fishers is now Great Lakes Honda of Fishers under new ownership. Visit them just off State Road 37 for special grand opening prices during their summer sales event. Great Lakes Honda of Fishers. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. It looks like it's going to be a gorgeous day in Indianapolis today. The temperature right now is 54, a high of 72, not a lot of clouds. Pretty much great things happening out there. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Heating and Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC. Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins filling in. It's time for our popcorn moment, brought to you by Boer Remodeling. This will be a Kilmar Abrego Garcia focused popcorn moment. Thank you, Carl, for playing the popcorn sounder. So this is actually Greg Garrett of Fox News talking about Kilmar Abrego Garcia and all the terrible things that have been said about this story that are obviously false. And I just love the bluntness of how he says that you don't have the rights that some people are saying you do, bud. Oh, wait, hold on. You probably can't hear that. Let me go ahead and fix that real quick and then make sure that you can hear it, because I think something important about the popcorn moment, being able to hear it probably.
You do not have the same constitutional rights as American citizens. Now, you do have some limited rights. Restricted due process rights, but those are being exercised here and have been from the very beginning, which actually resulted in his being returned to the United States. So a bit of a myth there when people claim, oh, his constitutional rights are violated. No, they're not.
No, they're not. They're doing just fine. By the way, there are protesters outside of the courthouse where Kilmar Abrego Garcia has to report in order to probably be deported somewhere else. They are not a lot of them. I think they say dozens in the news, which you always know when the left is reporting on things that they want to be ridiculous, they'll enhance the number. So when the left says dozens, that means there are not a lot of people out there, because they can't even get a shot that makes it seem like there are hundreds of people. If they could get one camera shot of that, they will claim hundreds. But instead, they've got dozens, and the people are chanting and praying and doing all kinds of things. And we'll see what actually occurs here. But honestly, the popcorn moment to me is just every part of the way the left wants you to love and support a man who is, suspected to be a human trafficker, a drug dealer, MSN-13 gang member, all kinds of terrible things. Those are the potential allegations of an individual that the left wants you to say is, just a family man, just a loving, wonderful individual who got to spend the weekend with his family and is now going somewhere else. He also might be a domestic abuser. That's another thing that his wife even seemed odd about when being interviewed and talking about the lawsuits that she, or the things she entered into court about him at times, because she seemed to be afraid of him. Now, apparently not the case anymore, but all this, again, is now the latest version of, we're going to pretend anything in his background is not bad, it's good, it's wonderful, and you love it, in order for you to stop talking about the negative or truthful aspects of said story. All right, I'm really done talking about that. We're going to move on. We're going to do some sillier stuff before we take another break. Apparently, coffee really does boost your mood, even on a Monday, according to a brand new study. The University of Warwick did this. Nature.com published it. What a great website Nature.com is. I love their, swimsuit issue. Anyway, no, the coffee. Yeah, that would be weird. The coffee thing is not just the amount of energy you get. It makes you, quote, happier, more enthusiastic, makes everything about you a more enjoyable individual. About 2.5 hours is how long the joy, this is the actual word they use, lingers from drinking some coffee. Matt Bear, how do you feel about that?
That's a complete lie, all of it. This is just more conspiratorial lies from beginning to end. First off, Kevin, it doesn't make you feel good for 2.5 hours, okay? I've got like about a 45-minute half-life if I'm drinking coffee, and then I have to go back for more. And secondly, it's a Monday. You know, you need to have like something dangling the carrot, you know, on a Monday. Be like, yeah, at the end of the week, you need to start thinking about the weekend on a Monday. That's the only way to live a productive and happy life, I feel like, you know.
That's true. You got anything going that way that's making you think about this weekend or no?
No, I'm just drinking lots of coffee. Hopefully it'll make me feel, hopefully I'll still feel good in 2.5 hours.
You
That's
got to
the
think
plan.
about it the other way. Without coffee, you're depressed.
Oh, that
it's
is
hard
true.
to wake up.
That is true. Actually, I've mentioned my wife a lot on this show. I don't know why I'm doing that. And I think it's always been bad. It's always gone the wrong direction for me if she listens to the podcast. She's tried to give up coffee before. She should not give up coffee. That is not a good decision. That does not make my life happier, Carl, whenever she's giving up coffee for like 2 days. It's a very rough time period. And then it ends. And then coffee's back in her life, and things are wonderful again.
It's the tea drinkers I really admire. We have a tea drinker here on the WIBC news.
Who can we out the tea drinker?
I don't want to. No, I don't want to say anything about Jarrett. He's new and everything. So
okay, gotcha. Yeah, don't name Jarrett. That would be terrible.
Cool guy. You can hear him during the middays anchoring news. Fantastic individual. But as I understand it, and I might have dreamt this and making this up in my head, but I believe he's a tea drinker. Now I've tried lots of times drinking tea instead of coffee for lots of reasons. You know, green tea, increases your metabolism, all these health benefits and everything else. Did not wake me up one time. And I think that's because I have such a high caffeine tolerance. But the people that are able to do it and get some sort of enjoyment or fulfillment out of their morning, you're good Americans. Hats off to you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. I wholeheartedly agree with you. That's awesome, man. I've known some tea drinkers as well. I don't know Jarrett, but I know some other ones. And I will tell you that I think they're doing it to feel fancier than the rest of us. They might be very nice people, but I think part of them is like, I want to feel more sophisticated. Because if it's got caffeine in it, you can bring yourself down to our level, buddy. You can have the coffee, you can have the energy drink, you can sink right on down and not feel the need to be a tea guy.
That kind of feels like, if you're out in suburbia and you're a big Chardonnay drinker and then you start calling yourself a wine connoisseur, it's kind of on the same level, I have this bottle of Woodbridge here. I love white Zinfandel Soma, just like that. Send me to the tasting championships. But
you know what? You know what's funny about that too, Matt, is I've never understood the sip of wine that I get if I order a bottle of wine somewhere. Like, I don't know what to do with that. They let me smell it. They let me sip it. I haven't noticed if it's good or bad in those moments. I hope it's not good. I hope it's cheap. I hope I can pay less money for it. So if I'm sipping it, I'm already worried that this is a very expensive bottle of wine. But I've always wondered about the people who claim like to gain a lot of information from that, if they're just being, serious or they're full of crap. The
one regret I have for my drinking time. Well, okay, maybe I have more than one regret. The big regret is I never sent a bottle of wine back. I mean, think about that. Here I am just like in a polo and some raggedy shorts at a restaurant.
Yes.
For some reason, they're letting me taste the wine before we actually order. Be like, nah, man, that's a bad bottle. That's a bad year. Don't ever bring me 2003 again the rest of my life. Horrible year for grapes, and just see the look on the waiter's face. I don't know.
Actually, I love the idea there because that would make me sound like I know what I'm talking about. Just send one bottle back. Just be like, oh, the terrible, awful thing.
Will you trade this for the Boons, please? There's a store right around the corner you can go get it at,
Oh, my God. Boone's Farm brings back a lot of memories that probably aren't complete. Actually, it doesn't bring back the whole memory.
Just all right. Yak thinking about it, to be honest.
Yeah, it's not great. Other things out there that I saw that I thought were interesting before we take a break real quick. This is just a stupid person who did stupid things, which I do love those. A drunk hot dog dressed guy TP'd her neighbor's car.
Amazing.
So a 48-year-old Florida man thought that the best costume to put on would be a hot dog to conceal his identity. And then as a hot dog, he TP'd the neighbor's stuff. But everyone knows he's the guy with the hot dog costume in the neighborhood. So it actually made it easier to find this dude in St. Petersburg, Florida.
See, that's what Boone's Farm does to you right there. You dress up as a hot dog and you start toilet paper abusing. Listen, I mean, there's something, I don't want to be too mean here because I think there's a gear stripped here somewhere.
Yeah, sure.
And the fact that you're a grown man and listen, everybody likes dressing as a hot dog at any age, you know. Let's just admit
We all do, of course.
We've all done it. It's a rite of passage. We all do it. But to actually toilet paper a home in your middle ages, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I can't approve of that. It just
Yeah.
seems like a bad idea, you know.
You ever TP anything as a kid?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got in all sorts of trouble so many times for that kind of stuff. It was ridiculous.
Did you?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Oh, maybe we have to talk about some of that off the air, Matt.
Yeah, I got busted by the cops once with a trunk full of toilet paper. You know, oh,
Okay.
yeah, my buddy was driving. He was underage. He wasn't 16 yet, so.
Wait a minute, though. Is that big of a deal? Like, couldn't
got
you just
busted
say
by
you
the-
need all the toilet paper? Like, does this have to be a TPing thing?
Well, you see, Craig, I had priors. Yeah,
What'd you
man,
do
I was
with all
already
that
wanted.
TP?
I was wanted by the law already because of my toilet paper career. I had a
Matt
check.
TP Bear. I
got-
didn't know that's what they called you.
I had a trunk full of toilet paper when I got clipped.
We got the toilet paper guy again, guys.
You could
We
have said
found
that
him.
you needed to go to the bathroom really bad.
This guy has a jacket the size. It's 12 pages from his toilet paper in history. He's felonious.
You just have one sheet dangling out of the trunk. That's how they found you. They're like, that's the guy.
That's whoever packed the toilet paper. Let's just say they're not around anymore. They didn't make it through the weekend.
I don't know if other people are enjoying this. I'm having a great time. Thank you, guys. We'll take a break. Matt's got traffic.
That's a
More in
horrible
bit.
kid. Horrible kid. Northbound 65 south side slow at Edgewood Avenue into the south split, and again after Keystone Avenue into the south split. That's stop and go because we're in a construction zone. And on the east side, northbound 465 slow before Penn Pike, inbound 69 stop and go 106th Street to 465. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Makes summer nights unforgettable with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get 50% off a stunning fire pit with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry! Offer ends September 1st. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Hammer and Nigel show this afternoon, Monday Gun Day with Guy Relford, and we will recap the biggest stories of the weekend and the day here in Indy. 93 WIBC.
An official message from Medicare.
I'm saving money on my Medicare prescriptions. Maybe you can save too. With Medicare's Extra Help program, my premium is zero and my out-of-pocket costs are low. Who should apply? Single people making less than $24,000 a year or married couples who make less than $32,000. Even if you don't think you qualify, it pays to find out.
Go to ssa.gov/extra help. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Citizens, since we each upgraded to Xfinity in our homes, the Wi-Fi has been booming. It's fair to say our town has officially become a boomtown.
Mayor, will I be able to drop into multiplayer gaming battles with low lag?
The lag won't be an issue, but your questionable skills may be.
And what if I have hundreds of devices on the Wi-Fi? Purely hypothetical.
Seems like a lot, but sure, hundreds of devices all booming together with the Xfinity Gateway. Yes, friends and neighbors, with Xfinity, the Wi-Fi is booming.
The Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Now get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best-in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed. All in. Plus, get unlimited data included and no annual contract. All with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with X5 Complete required for unlimited data except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
Summer's still hot, and so are the deals at Tom Roush Lincoln. Right now, get 0% for up to 48 months on 2025 Lincoln Aviator and Nautilus, or 0.9% for 72 months on 2025 Grand Touring Corsair. Or how about a $50,000 Lincoln Corsair from just $499 per month? So come get one of those hot summer deals at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
MSRP $52.20, 36-month term, $2,500 due at signing, $499 a month, 10,500 miles per year. Good through 8/31/25.
We play fair in Indiana, but Washington insiders want to cheat. They want taxpayers to spend millions to redraw legislative maps approved just 4 years ago. That's not democracy. It's a power grab, and they're hoping you won't notice. Thankfully, some of our leaders are saying no to D.C. politics. Tell politicians Hoosiers don't cheat. Protect our votes and get back to focusing on our real problems. Join the team at playfairindiana.com. Paid for by Indiana Conservation Voters.
Of course I love my parents, I really do, but often felt angry with them because I was always screaming so they could hear me on the telephone. All that has changed thanks to the CapTel phone from Relay, Indiana. We're so much better off because now my parents can read what I'm saying on the CapTel caption telephone. Our conversations are pleasant because through voice recognition technology, my words appear to them on an easy-to-read screen right on the telephone. Thanks, Relay Indiana.
Learn more at RelayIndiana.com.
Make summer nights unforgettable with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get 50% off a stunning fire pit with their best stamped concrete patio package. Offer ends September 1st. IndyDecorativeConcrete.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
The state of Texas can require voter ID for mail-in ballots.
It's not required already.
But Joe Biden got 82 million legal votes, Nigel. If you think otherwise, you might as well put the tinfoil hat on, okay? I don't think it's asking too much to have some sort of proof that you're a legal citizen in your mail-in ballot. Find a way.
Hammer and Nigel. Weekdays 3 till 7 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Buying a diamond has changed. There are mined and lab-grown diamonds. Pierce Jewelers carries both. Pierce can educate you and save your hard-earned money. Shop local. Shop smart. Shop Pierce Jewelers.
Hey, this is Rob.
And this is Casey.
Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here Monday.
If we're lucky. Join us Monday, 9 until noon on 93 WIBC.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
What's happening with a known gang member who's already been deported? Nothing on radar. 58 degrees in downtown Indianapolis, going up to 72. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 7:31. Salvadorian national Kilmar Obrego Garcia reports to an ICE facility this morning in Baltimore.
Family members and supporters are planning a prayer vigil and rally for Obrego Garcia, also outside of the offices here, including court-appointed special advocates, also known as CASA. In a statement, CASA's chief of organizing and leadership says, quote, Kilmar is being made an example of a martyr for having the courage to stand up to this administration's illegal deportation practices. They're throwing the entire federal apparatus at one father of three to prove that no one should dare challenge their authority. These torturous behaviors must end at once. Enough is enough, end quote. Obrego Garcia was released Friday from a Tennessee jail where he was being held on human smuggling charges.
And that's Olivia Dance reporting in Baltimore this morning with WBFF Fox 45. National Guard troops in D.C. are now carrying guns, and President Trump says he's considering sending some troops to Baltimore, saying on Truth Social that he may send them if necessary. Also, he criticized Governor Westmore's handling of crime during his 2 years as governor. Reports also indicate that Trump is considering sending federal troops to Chicago. Students go back to class at the University of South Carolina today following a false report of an active shooter. Keona Jordan with Fox 57 in Columbia, South Carolina, has more.
Students say complete pandemonium broke out on the school's campus after students heard other students yelling active shooter. While authorities say they could not find an active shooter, students say there was panic and even injuries after people ran for cover. Many of the students I talk with on this campus were freshmen just ending their first week of school. And while some applauded the Columbia Police Department for responding fast and making them feel safe, others say no matter what the response was, that they just don't feel safe anymore. And they just didn't even imagine that something like this could happen to them.
And the campus library remains closed today. The incident comes days after a similar hoax at Villanova University. Fantastic weather. That's the message from forecasters in Indianapolis. Jake McDaniel with the story.
That goes for mostly sunny days and mostly clear nights through the work week, says Jason Puma, a meteorologist with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis.
High temperatures as we go through the entire week are really going to be in the lower to middle 70s, perhaps warming up to the upper 70s by Thursday and Friday. And really low humidity every day.
And he says the state may not even get any rain until September. Jake McDaniel, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Who could use $750 million? Me, right here, the Powerball. That's the jackpot tonight, $750 million. The cash option is more than $300 million. Sports on WIBC is brought to you by Ball State Athletics. Visit ballstatesports.com. The injury-depleted Indiana Fever fell to the Minnesota Lynx Sunday night, 97-84. Head coach Stephanie White.
This team busts our ass, man. I'm proud of this team, how hard we compete, that we put ourselves in position night in and night out. Minnesota's been the best team in the league for a reason, and it was a tough one.
And the Fever were missing 5 players, including Caitlin Clark, who hasn't played in quite some time, 15 games. She's missed already. The Fever played the Seattle Storm. Actually, she's missed 15 games in a row. She's missed nearly 30 games this season. The Fever played the Seattle Storm at home on Tuesday. Kristen Rasmussen passed Alex Palou for the lead Sunday at the Milwaukee Mile and went on to take the win.
Feels amazing. I think it's just a testament on where this team is going. There's so much work that's going into this all of this year.
On IndyCar Radio, Rasmussen's win at the Snap-on Milwaukee Mile 250 marked his first IndyCar victory and the first for Ed Carpenter Racing in more than 4 years. And former Notre Dame quarterback Riley Leonard passed for 189 yards in Saturday's preseason finale for the Indianapolis Colts, who beat the Cincinnati Bengals 41-14. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level on the go and at WIBC.com at 7:35. Traffic on the 5s. What are you watching, Matt Bear? 6-minute delay on inbound 69 116th Street down to 465. Southside, northbound 65, stop and go Keystone. Into the south split, it's a 6-minute delay, and now we have a crash. It's northbound 65 after the north split. The left lane is blocked traffic. Stop and go through the north split, not quite to rural, but westbound 70 is backing up. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Makes summer nights unforgettable with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get 50% off a stunning fire pit with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry, offer ends September 1st. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. It looks like we're going to have a gorgeous day today. Increasing clouds, a high near 72. Right now in downtown Indianapolis, it is 55 degrees. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Heating and Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
Whenever I'm out wandering, chasing
Tony
a
Katz,
rainbow
Morning News,
dream.
93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins filling in. You got Matt, you got Carl hanging out, and we're going to do a marketplace brought to you by Indiana Unclaimed. You can get money, free money that you might have forgotten or have no idea exists from Indiana Unclaimed. All 3 of us have made some sweet, sweet cash by going there and checking it out. Today's marketplace is a giant Jeff Gordon leather couch that is available on the internet. I'm not knocking it. I'm actually a fan of both NASCAR and Jeff Gordon, but I can't imagine spending $1,000 on this couch and then bringing it home to the missus, because I think that would go poorly, especially since it looks a little bit beat up in the middle. But it is $1,000. Has Tony done this one before? No. Is this a brand new one?
No.
What do you think of the Jeff Gordon couch that's available on the internet?
Okay, I just pulled it up here at Radio Craig. Radio Craig. It would be, Radio Craig C. Thank you very much. And it is a Jeff Gordon couch. It reminds me, this is a piece of lore. This is a piece of Hoosier lore. It reminds me back in the days of brother versus brother we had here in the Hoosier State.
Yeah.
It was Tony Stewart versus Jeff Gordon. They had dividing households and families. Just a bloody ordeal, like the American Civil War. So, I mean, if you want to own a piece of Indiana history, you buy this couch. Craig, it looks damn comfortable.
It does. I will say that it does look comfortable. That part is true. Jeff Gordon was like the rich kid who didn't really deserve to be the racer, right? That was the narrative.
Yeah,
and Tony Stewart was more like your racer's racer kind of guy. And yet Jeff Gordon won a whole lot of races somehow. That's a thing that did happen. I like that you said brother versus brother. Were you a Tony Stewart fan growing up or no?
No, I was. I just wasn't in the whole thing. I was like, I'm going to let the men fight this one out.
I'm not going to care.
The tough guys. I'm not going to care.
Yeah.
I always thought Jeff Gordon was cool. He's from Pittsburgh. That's just right up the road from Indianapolis. Well, sort of from Pittsburgh. And I always enjoyed him. And he was a winner from Indiana. So I was like, yeah, Jeff Gordon. Tony Stewart's from Indiana. So, it was.
There you go. You got to pick somebody. You got to do something.
Memories.
Yeah.
Awful.
I love that. How do you feel about IndyCar now working at WIBC, bud?
How do I feel about IndyCar?
Yeah.
I love the 500. I think it's very exciting, and I think it's a terrific thing. Right now, they have one guy that's winning all the races, and I think that makes it tough to get ratings when you have something that's so absolute. Like when the New England Patriots. The Patriots were going to win the Super Bowl, man. Back in the Manning era. We were kind of became that underdog status. I always felt like, which is why it was so much fun when we won that AFC title game and beat the Patriots in the title game here at Lucas Oil Stadium, and then went on to the Super Bowl. Won the Super Bowl, yay! But IndyCar is just it's one of those things that it seems like you're either really, really into it or you're not. But everybody is into the Indianapolis 500. So I think they have kind of maybe a competition problem right now. I mean, they're on Fox, but I hear the ratings aren't the greatest. So it's a tough draw, man. There's a lot of competition. It's just not like people are watching sports in front of the TV anymore. We have 1,000 things to distract us.
True, man.
So it's a lot harder than what it used to be.
Well, and what's interesting about you mentioning that? So just the other day, ESPN launched its standalone app. Are you guys aware of this?
No.
Okay.
I thought they had one already. I mean, what took them so long?
The difference is now you can give them $30 a month and watch regular ESPN on just the app. You don't have to have cable. You don't have to have any of this stuff. And I was doing this long read into it, which I shouldn't have done, and probably isn't terribly interesting on the radio, but I can't help myself. They don't want you to buy it. ESPN has a lot of leverage with cable news or cable, providers because of what they are and what they bring to that table. And so apparently, even though they've finally launched this thing because of how many cord cutters are out there that don't want a regular television, even though the rebuilding of your TV is now costing more money than just having cable used to cost with all the different apps you have to buy. But it's $30. I bought it for the Yankee game that happened last night. And I kind of enjoyed it. The fact that I now have ESPN at my fingertips. It's a weird thing because it's probably the downfall of television even more to have all these things on demand, individualized as subscriptions, and I'm probably going to cancel it in the near future because there's not going to be a Yankee game on for a while. And that's the thing, like you cancel an ad to these subscriptions, but I don't know, man. It's an interesting time to be alive.
Can you subscribe to Yes?
Kind of.
Yes, is the
Not
Yankees
exactly.
network, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's the one that the.
I mean, you can watch Yankees all year long.
You can. I got to live in the place, which means I got to use a VPN and fake it.
Can you imagine how much money they're going to be making on guys just like you and me who will buy this ESPN app for just one game?
Yeah.
And then we're going to cancel the whole thing. Because that's why they say cancel any time for this rate. It's a special rate. Cancel any time.
Right.
And then you can re-up any time you want. But think about it. You paid $30 to watch a game on your phone.
Yes, I did.
I mean, that's what it is, right?
It's a real thing that happened. Well, on my projector in my house, but it's basically the same thing. But basically the same thing, though, man. Yes. And so, now I can watch it anytime I want. I could pull up my app right now. I should probably be listening to our sister station that does sports better than the four-letter thing does. But I don't know. It's a weird time for so much of this stuff. The Superman movie is already out in digital. If I want to talk about this for an extra second, I don't know if you guys knew that.
It's $20. It's like a movie experience. That's how they're able to charge so much. But yeah, you have the new Superman movie. There's another one. I think Nobody 2, the new movie that came out with Bob Odenkirk, the sequel to that's going to be on digital before you know it again at $20. And the reason these digital providers, whether it be Amazon or Vudu, Fandango, whoever else can charge these prices, because they're saying, hey, it's a home theater experience.
Yeah.
We could charge you $20 and you're going to pay it because you don't want to go park at the theater. At my theater, my local theater, parking is a commodity and you are going to pay out the ass to be able to find a parking space. I can promise you that. So why deal with all that? There's Order Up, there's DoorDash, there's Uber Eats. They'll bring you the food. You don't have to do anything. You have to leave your couch. So we're going to charge you $20 and eventually we're going to do the big service of cutting it down to $7 because now it's technically be like coming out in the video store, like Village Video or Blockbuster. What is it, Village Video? It's like a single chain where I lived in a small town. Everybody knows Village Video, but they eventually drop the price again, and maybe it makes it Netflix and wherever it wants. But it's crazy, man. Did
you buy it?
No.
You knew so much about the price. Okay.
No.
I almost bought it this weekend because I still haven't seen the Superman movie, and I wanted to see it, and I couldn't do it because my wife doesn't want to watch it. And so I can't, dude, I can't validate the $25 if the missus, because I can go to the movie theater for cheaper and it's still playing, which is weird, and just see it alone. And I still haven't done that yet.
But think about it. For that movie ticket, for it to be cheaper, you still have to take a matinee, right? It has to be a matinee price.
Well, I don't know. I mean, $25. I can find, if I don't need the fancy screen, Matt, I can do it. I can figure it out. But yeah, the matinee price would be like $10 some places.
Do you have an HD projector at home? You know,
I do.
Like a Chris Nolan setup and everything?
I do. I have a really nice setup at home, in my living room. And actually, dude, the funniest, so I live in a condo right now, and I know we're about to hit a break for traffic, and they're selling it. So it's going to be a new group of people in charge. And the guy came over to look through my unit, and as we're talking, he goes, you should really just mount this projector on the wall, on the ceiling. And I go, I know, but my wife won't let me. She thinks it's a terrible idea. And so you've got to be the voice of reason. So when my wife came home that day, I told her that the new manager of the condo is very much, recommending we mount it. And she told me, please. And then she just walked away. That was the entirety of the conversation.
That's
so
all
far.
it takes, baby. Please.
I know.
Yeah.
I was trying to validate it through some other dude. But all right, we should take a break. You can do some traffic, and we'll come back in a bit.
Yeah.
This is Craig Collins filling in for Tony Katz. Go ahead.
All right, here's what we have, Craig. Inbound 69 is stop and go 116th Street down to 82nd. That's a 7-minute delay. On the south side, northbound 65, stop and go traffic after South Keystone Avenue into the south split. That's because of road construction delayed 8 minutes. Northbound 65, crash is cleared at Meridian, still backed up to Sherman Drive. Northwest side, northbound 465, slow 79th Street up to 865. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Make summer nights unforgettable with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get 50% off a stunning fire pit with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry, offer ends September 1st. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
Amazing day today. 72 degrees is the high, 55 the temperature right now. Very few clouds in the sky. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Heating and Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
Technology Recyclers is the safe and ethical choice for your computer and electronics recycling. R2 certified, 100% landfill free, guaranteed destruction of data, and absolutely free pickups. Visit tech-recyclers.com.
Hey, it's Matt Bear here for Trajan Wealth. I've been talking about my friends at Trajan Wealth for a while now, and I'm a client. I'm now a client. Totally thrilled that I have this peace of mind in my retirement investing. I'm excited to share that Trajan is hosting a one-night-only movie premiere at Flicks Brewhouse in Carmel at 6 p.m. Retirement on the Brink is their new eye-opening documentary everyone nearing retirement needs to see. Call now to reserve your seat, 317-480-4040, or visit TrajanWealth.com. It's Flicks Brewhouse, September 25th at 6 p.m. Retirement on the Brink reveals the risks that could derail your future. It's a must-see movie event from my friends at Trajan Wealth. VIP seats available now at Retirement on the Brink. RetirementOnTheBrink.com. Get your tickets there or call today. Learn more. 317-480-4040. 317-480-4040. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement, DBA in most states as Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
Why do so many foundation, basement, and crawl space companies ask for half your money up front? Could it be because that's easier to get than earning all your trust? At the Michaelis Corporation, they believe trust is earned, not demanded. That's why they do things differently. They start with a free inspection, no strings attached, to give you an honest assessment of what your home needs. No pressure, no surprises. When it's time for the work, they don't ask for a deposit or any upfront payment. Not a single dollar until the job is complete and you're 100% satisfied. That's how they've been earning trust for over 39 years. Whether it's sagging floors, moisture control, concrete repair, or a full crawl space encapsulation, you can count on Michaelis for repairs that last. Don't trust just anyone with your home. Choose the company that puts your trust first. Text or call 844-FIXED-INDY today. That's 844-FIXED-INDY. The Michaelis Corporation, building trust beneath your feet.
Comcast Business High Five Hotline. What's the state of your excitement?
I signed my business up for the 5-year price lock guarantee, and I can't stop high-fiving people. High five!
Okay,
Ooh,
deep
high
breath.
Five, high five.
You're in a good place. You signed your business up for 5 years of gig speed internet and advanced security, all on our ultra-reliable network.
Gig speeds and advanced security? I'm so stoked.
Yep, and you get it at a great rate that's locked in for 5 years.
Woo!
The high five is just your body's way of saying, I'm winning.
So this is natural.
High-fiving everyone you see in a state of business savings enthusiasm? Totally natural.
Sweet! Thank you! Thank you! High five, everybody! High five!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee is back, but only for a limited time, so sign your business up today.
High five!
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/21/25 for new customers with qualifying bundle. Current customers may be eligible depending on services and area. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
The IHRA Outlaw Nitro Series is coming back to Columbus, September 3rd through the 6th. Kids 12 and under free. Get your tickets now at IHRA.com.
Join the Home and Garden Show live this Saturday from 9 till 1 at Anderson Speedway, where they'll preview Saturday night's Night of Thrills. Get thrilled to the max with figure 8 racing, Prairie Farms trailer races, and more.
Johnny Katz, the morning news, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins filling in. You got Matt, you got Carl hanging out as they do every single morning on this show. I have a story about the serial butt sniffer, which is a real thing. A guy in California who sniffs women the way that dogs sniff each other. It's very weird. He got in trouble at a Nordstrom rack for trying to sniff near the buttocks of a woman he doesn't know. Carl already loves this. Apparently, he's being released from jail after he got arrested again. And one of his victims is speaking out about his release. I have audio of this. Let's go ahead and play that.
I didn't realize he was so close to me until I heard like his jewelry or something, and he sounded extremely close to me. So that's when I turned around and noticed that he was right under me. So that's when I stepped back towards the bookcase and I asked him what he was doing, and he said that he was tying his shoe. He was smelling me, and he smelled another person in the store. It's honestly infuriating because he's done this for 13 plus years.
Yeah.
So they know what he's going to do when they release him again.
Yeah, for 4 years he was in the White House as the president, President Biden, and then the rest of the time he's been sniffing butts. Matt, you got anything on this?
No, I'm just absolutely appalled. Nordstrom's still open. I mean,
yeah. Well, this is a Nordstrom rack. So this is the cheaper place. That's like the other place, but it's where the stuff goes that didn't sell.
I mean, it says Aldi, and that's where you go and get your stuff.
Yeah, it's Nordstrom's Aldi.
TJ
My wife
Maxx.
loves the Nordstrom rack.
Yeah,
she loves it.
Oh,
she
okay,
goes
cool.
there. Yeah, and the other places, the TJ Maxx, the Marshalls. Are they all the same? They all feel the same. All those like discount Ross Dress for Less. Every time I walk into every one of those, I feel like I'm in the same place, and they've just changed the name of it. And the missus seems to think they're very different.
Well,
and they have very different things.
Because it's like one of the few places that you can find affordable clothes and still try them on.
Yeah.
And that's the neat thing about it. And that's why I go to those stores and your wife does, and so many other people, is because you're actually able. I mean, you order something online, which so many people do nowadays. You're going to get it, you're going to send it back, get it, send it back. And this goes
That's
on
true.
and on and on into
That's
infinity,
true.
unless it's on the sales page. And so those stores, they're still a way for them to become popular, maybe just not so much in a mall form. But we have a TJ Maxx here downtown Indianapolis on Illinois, and it's gangbusters. There's people in there all the time. I mean, it's it does really well.
No.
And I just didn't know Nordstrom was still around, and I know I missed the point of the story.
They are all packed. It's totally fine. I like your point. They're all packed. Everyone we go to is packed. I just don't understand how they're different. Like, to me, they all feel like the same place. I feel like I went from one, and I've always said they should put just one aisle of tools in the back of these establishments so I can be sent back there to just look at the tools for a while. Well, the missus does her shopping, and then I'll feel much more entertained. By the way, real quick, I was thinking about mentioning this, and I was debating not doing it, and I know we're up against the traffic, so I'll make this quick. Someone in the chat said that my room that I'm in broadcasting from looks like a bathroom. Can you guys see it? Does it look like a bathroom?
Well, you might be on the toilet. We don't know.
Yeah, I could be. That's true. But it's got a rug in here, man. What kind of public restroom has like a carpeted floor? That feels odd. To me, is a thing.
Do you have like a Visqueen around your chair right now, or maybe like a plastic wrap or anything? Okay,
okay.
All right.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Do you have a little prophylactic dispenser on the side of your wall?
No, I don't.
All right. I'm not sure where they're getting
one.
it. I don't know where they're getting that at all.
I liked it. I like the comment though, because I'm like, what restroom have you been in, man? Because it's like
soundproof restrooms.
Yeah,
your studio's soundproof. That's a great idea for public restrooms. You know, it's a great idea.
I know it's hard to see. The thing I can't get over the most is if I ever walked into a men's room that had like a rug or carpet flooring, I would feel very unsafe. That would be a very, very bad place for me and very difficult to clean.
There better be a bellhop at the front door. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, I would take that. I'd take the mint guy standing here, no problem. All right, we'll take a break. A lot to get to. Matt's got traffic for you.
The guy who washes your hands for you.
Yeah, that too.
That was a little odd.
At least a towel.
Don't touch my hands, dude. Looking at westbound 70 stop and go traffic from Sherman Drive into the North Split. And now we have multiple problems on the northeast side. First, a crash eastbound 465, and that's before Allisonville Road. Then another crash right before that. It's eastbound 465 at the White River. No delay because of those two crashes yet, but there is going to be a slowdown. Please be careful making your way through. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Make summer nights unforgettable with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get 50% off a stunning fire pit with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry. Offer ends September 1st. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. Matt Barrett, WIBC Traffic.
Pat Sullivan here for Gutter Helmet. Are you still putting screens on your gutters? If the holes are too big, debris gets in, and you're still cleaning your gutters. If the holes are too small, it sits on top, and now you're cleaning the screens. I have Gutter Helmet on my home, and it has no holes, slots, or screens. It keeps the debris out and the water in. Since 1981, Gutter Helmet has been America's #1 choice for gutter protection. Right now, Gutter Helmet is offering a 17% discount plus 12 months, no interest financing if paid in full within 12 months. Call 800-5HELMET, that's 800-5HELMET, to schedule a free estimate. 17% off, restrictions apply, and cannot be combined with other offers. Call Gutter Helmet today at 800-5HELMET. That's 800-5HELMET, or gutterhelmetindy.com, and never clean your gutters again.
When it comes to retirement, it's not just what you've saved, it's what you keep that matters. Howard Bailey Financial invites you to join our free educational event featuring nationally recognized IRA expert and CPA Ed Slott, where he will focus on strategies to help reduce unnecessary taxes, avoid common mistakes, and plan smarter for the years ahead. This event is ideal for anyone in or nearing retirement who wants to make the most of what they've saved. Reserve your spot at the Forum in Fishers on Thursday, September 11th by calling or texting ED to 888-262-1104. Space is limited, so reserve your spot today by calling or texting ED to 888-262-1104. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Hey, this is Travis from Life Church. Do you have questions about God, faith, or church? What if there's a place you could ask them without embarrassment, judgment, or shame? That's the Alpha Course. Bring your questions and we'll even feed you dinner. We'll talk about who Jesus is, what he did on the cross, and what that means for you without the commitment of joining a church. The Alpha Course begins on Monday nights at 6:30 at Life Church Noblesville. Go to lifechurchin.com for more information and to register.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use, now what?
I had a friend that went to My Computer Career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Scrolling all day. Clickbait everywhere. But the facts, they're harder to find.
WIBC didn't just report the story. They explained why it matters.
I'm Ryan Hedrick on The Level on the go.
I check the WIBC website every morning before I even open social media.
Online, on social, on air. Stay in the know while you're on the go.
You've got to stay in the know.
Stay informed.
Now more than ever.
We have information.
93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Ken
Kendall and Casey.
The ultimate job of why we send people to Congress is not to be a teammate or an opposition to the president. It's to be a check and balance. If there's areas you agree, great, you vote together. If there's areas you don't agree, you push back. And all we see now in terms of our Congress is just, hey, if it's Democrat, it's blanket opposition. And if you're Republican, it's blatant errand boy behavior.
Kendall and Casey, weekdays 9 till noon on 93 WIPC and WIPC.com.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recyclers Studios, why at least 200 people were outside of Camp Atterbury on Sunday, and a man whose name is up all across town is being remembered this morning. Those stories and more after Fox News. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It is 8 o'clock.
He could be sent to Uganda. Gianna Gelosi, Fox News. Kilmar Abrego Garcia has arrived at a Baltimore ICE facility. Immigration officials say they plan to deport him to Uganda after he rejected a plea deal to be sent to Costa Rica in exchange for pleading guilty to smuggling charges.
Family members and supporters are planning a prayer vigil and rally for Abrego Garcia, also outside of the offices here, including court-appointed special advocates, also known as CASA. In a statement, CASA's chief of organizing and leadership says, quote, Kilmar is being made an example of a martyr for having the courage to stand up to this administration's illegal deportation practices. They're throwing the entire federal apparatus at one father of three to prove that no one should dare challenge their authority. These torturous behaviors must end at once. Enough is enough, end quote. Abrego Garcia was released Friday from a Tennessee jail where he was being held on human smuggling charges. He was sent there back in June after being deported to El Salvador.
Now, that is Olivia Dance of Fox 45 Baltimore. Meanwhile, the Trump administration is eyeing Chicago as it looks to expand its effort to cut crime across the country. The city could get similar treatment to D.C., where 2,000 troops have been deployed.
The White House says there were 93 arrests in D.C., including 46 illegal aliens. In Maryland, next door, Governor Wes Moore has invited President Trump to visit Baltimore. Moore rejected the idea the guard is needed in his city with the second highest murder rate. President Trump has declined the invitation on Truth Social. Now, Missouri Senator Eric Schmidt says he welcomes federal support and more officers in the city of St. Louis, which, of course, has the highest murder rate in the country.
And that is Fox's Lucas Tomlinson. Maryland Governor Wes Moore says the operations would be unsustainable from a financial standpoint, claiming a cost of $1 million per day. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
What happened at Camp Atterbury on Sunday? Nothing on radar. 57 degrees in downtown Indianapolis, going up to 72. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 8:02. At least 200 people protested outside Camp Atterbury on Sunday, which is set to become an ICE detention center. Congresswoman Erin Houchin.
I don't have any concerns whatsoever with the security of that facility. Camp Atterbury is the right place. We've held refugees there before for humanitarian purposes, and with the refugees in Afghanistan, I think it's the right move.
Some protesters outside on Sunday compared it to a concentration camp. State Republicans like Representative Jefferson Shreve and Attorney General Todd Rokita say they do support the decision for Atterbury to house illegal immigrants. Indiana will join 18 other states in deploying National Guard members to support federal immigration officers. White House Border Czar Tom Homan told News Nation on Saturday the 1,700 Guard members will help U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement with transportation and intelligence. In July, an Indianapolis cop was shot multiple times and then returned fire during a carjacking investigation on the near west side involving a car with several people in it. Police say one of the men who was shot by the police, Tyson Reach, died at the hospital, Eskenazi, on Friday. IMPD confirmed that news this morning. Lucas Oil, founded in 1989 by Forrest Lucas, lost its founder Saturday. Jake McDaniel reports on the mark he left behind.
Lucas was an Indiana native who built his company from the ground up, turning it into a major name in both motorsports and professional sports through partnerships like the naming rights for Lucas Oil Stadium. His company, as well as the National Hot Rod Association, both posted on social media honoring him as a visionary who will be deeply missed.
For long hours on the road behind the wheel of his rig, to creating the first products that the Lucas Oil brand would bring to market. It was a passion mixed with an immense personal drive that allowed Forrest and his wife Charlotte to beat the odds and grow the business to the level it is today.
And Lucas was 83. Jake McDaniel, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
The Indiana Fever were in Minnesota last night, -5 players, and it did not go well. They fell to the best team in the league, the Lynx, 97-84. Here's head coach Stephanie White.
It's just being locked in for 40 minutes. We're a team that's still reintegrating new pieces, and we got to find a way to make it click.
Caitlin Clark missed her 15th game in a row. We do not know when she's going to return. The team hasn't given any indication. Kelsey Mitchell held up the scoring load with 26 points. The Fever return home on Tuesday to play the Seattle Storm. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. At 8:05, traffic on the 5s. Good morning, Matt Bear.
What's happening, Brian? Looking at Carmel and southbound 31. That is stop-and-go traffic right now. From Main Street down to 116th. 2 crashes reported on eastbound 465, both before Allisonville Road. No delay at the moment. A little bit of a slowdown. Inbound 69, that's stop-and-go from 106th Street down to 82nd. Westbound 70 has cooled off a little bit. Still slow as you approach the North Split and over the flyover ramp to Meridian Penn. Southside northbound 65 slow before Raymond into the South Split. And that is a delay right now of 3 minutes. Traffic sponsored by the International Hot Rod Association. The IHRA Outlaw Nitro Series is coming back to Columbus September 3rd through the 6th. Kids 12 and under free. Get your tickets now at IHRA.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Wish TV meteorologist Tara Hastings. Good morning. How does our weather look?
Hey, good morning. We are starting off with lots of sunshine today, but a little on the crisp side with temperatures in the lower 50s. We'll look for lots of sunshine today with highs near 73. Mostly clear tonight and even cooler. Some spots outside of Indianapolis may fall into the 40s. We'll get down to about 51 here in the city. Mostly sunny skies yet again on Tuesday. Highs near 73. And the sunshine continues on Wednesday, still below normal temperatures with highs in the low and middle 70s.
Thank you very much, Tara. Right now, 8:06 Monday morning.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Engagement Ring Store.
Tony Katz, Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins filling in. Tony is back tomorrow. This probably should have been my popcorn moment from earlier in the show, brought to you by Boer Remodeling. It is President Trump crapping all over MSNBC, rebranding as MS Now. It's weird that they're rebranding themselves after an acronym for a disease, although it maybe not all that weird. But here's a little bit of what Trump said about it.
Then you turn to CNN, which is fake news and nobody watches it, or MSDNC, they changed, MSNBC. They changed their name now because they were so bad. But they're the worst, owned by Comcast, run by a guy named Brian Roberts, who doesn't have a clue. He's terrible, terrible manager. But they're not, I don't think, selling it. They're changing the name because they're ashamed of it. And they're disassociating it from NBC, which is also fake news. You know, they should be ashamed of that, too. But a lot of fake news. I think the news is getting better. They're learning that they have no credibility. ABC, CBS was just sold to a great person that I know very well. A great man. He actually just bought CBS, and I think he's going to do the right thing with it. NBC is run terribly by Comcast.
I love everything about so much of what he just said there, and especially the fact that that's just something he goes off on. That someone asked him a question about something completely unrelated, and he's like, well, they're all trash. MSNBC or MS Now or whatever it is uniquely crap. And we'll see what happens with CBS. The only one who at times, even before someone else bought that place, that had been fair to Trump. The favorite moment for CBS for me was when they finally validated the Hunter Biden laptop by actually asking someone in computer forensics to look at it, which took forever. And Trump had said multiple times this could happen. CBS was the first news organization that confirmed that it was a legitimate laptop. Although I think I remember in their reporting, they also said it could have had stuff added to it after it was turned in, which was hilarious. But we'll see. Another story out there that's not necessarily in Indiana, but certainly national news in the world of politics. There's a Virginia politician who's running for office that seems to be courting all kinds of racist humans to be a part of the support group. Now, this is a Democrat who's running in Virginia that seems to have racists supporting that individual. So, of course, mainstream media won't be able to talk about it in that way or handle it or do any of the things they would do if it were a Republican. And it just so happens the person that's being run against is a black woman who's a Republican, politician herself in Virginia. And so if you don't know this, someone held up a banner that said, "Hey, Winsome, if trans can't share your bathroom, then blacks can't share my white water fountain," which is insane to say as a thing, to hold up a sign like that and to feel good about it. And honestly, I don't really care about the fringe crazy idiots in our society, whatever side of the aisle on. For most of this, it would be a non-story to me. I would ignore it. But the way the left is trying to blame the black Republican woman who's a politician in that place for the racism on the sign is insane. It's the kind of thing where you're like, what's happening here? And so a few different thought leaders, or whatever you want to call them, within the Democratic Party have said things similar to what one tweeted out over the weekend on social media. What happened in Arlington wasn't just about a meeting. I'm quoting the idiot on social media. It was about the climate Winsome Sears is creating, one where contempt is currency and neighbors are turned against each other. So the racist that showed up to support the Democrat is racist because the Republican, who's a black woman again, is somehow creating this environment. This is insane. This is an insane way to say, how dare you try to go after our supporters the way we go after your supporters, even if it's evident that at least one of our supporters is, in fact, an actual racist. How dare you try to say that this is in any way our fault? It's just amazing to watch the double standard exist in media and for politicians with these types of topics. Because if you weren't going to laugh at it, the only other thing you do is get mad and throw stuff. Because how can they possibly say that and even remotely believe the thing they're saying? I have one other example of this before I take a break. This is CNN's Abby Phillip. She was recently on television on her CNN show saying that there was no evidence in the Obama or Biden administration that they weaponized the judicial system, that they had any sort of top-down order for political retribution. Trump almost went to jail, and he got a $500 million lawsuit, civil suit, found against him that was recently thrown out. How is there no evidence that the left tried to weaponize its control of the judicial system against the right? This is a ridiculous thing to say into a camera, and Abby had no problem doing it.
There is no evidence that there was some top-down order of political retribution in either the Obama or the Biden administrations.
I love how much people, the Republicans, are laughing at that idea on this panel, because it's an insane thing to say. That Trump faced multiple lawsuits from all different angles, civil suits in states, federal suits, most of them thrown out now as he won that office again. Obama spied on him. There's definitive information about that happening. Part of all the lawsuits was really just to spy on Trump again if they failed to throw him into jail. So it's crazy to say that and to think that, and then to try to say, but what Trump is doing is somehow worse, even though the people that Trump would be going after have no value politically to anyone. John Bolton isn't a valuable political person right now, so there'd be no reason to attack him through a system, even if Trump were trying to wield and control it. There's no value. Going after the person that's the leading candidate to replace the president back in, 2023, 24, what have you, before Biden loses, before both Biden and Harris lose, that had a ton of political value. That's why they did it. Trump wouldn't want to do this, even if he thinks it's probably hilarious, like I do, that Bolton's in so much trouble. All right, we'll take a break. A lot more. This is Craig Collins filling in. Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
If you'd like to learn about the structure-function approach to children's healthcare that gets better results with less risk than the disease care model of drugs and pharmaceuticals, then join us for our free holistic integration seminar, Building Healthy Kids from the Inside Out, Wednesday, August 27th at 6:30 p.m. You'll hear from Dr. Robert Prather, host of the Voice of Health Radio.
Children are completely different physiologically than adults. Their immune system's completely different. None of the pharmaceuticals or any of those types of things have ever been tested on children, but they're giving them to them.
The Holistic Integration Free Seminar, Building Healthy Kids from the Inside Out, Wednesday, August 27th at 6:30 p.m. Those who attend will receive 20% off our hair analysis that children should have every year to prevent heavy metal toxicities. Reserve your seat by calling 317-848-8048 or online at thevoiceofhealthradio.com.
Road trip! This summer at Tire Discounters, your tires are your passport to savings, because you're driving to Paris,
Texas,
then it's off to Rome,
Georgia,
and you'll be kissing the Blarney Stone in Dublin,
Ohio.
Right now, save up to $404 when you buy 4 tires, and that includes a free alignment and oil change. Stop at Tire Discounters before you see the world.
Matt Bear, how do our roads look?
Southbound 31 in Carmel is starting to cool off at the front of the line right now. We're still jammed up after 136th Street past Main Street, but south of that, things have improved. Eastbound 465 before Allisonville Road, that's a crash, slowing us down to Keystone Avenue. Inbound 69 on the brakes before 96th Street. Northbound 65 south side slow, Raymond into the south split, and northbound 65 tight from Southport Road up to 465 because of the construction zone. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with nationwide LTE coverage. For a limited time, get 60% off and free. UPS shipping at rapidradios.com. Use code RADIO for an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. There's going to be clouds today. Otherwise, just gorgeous, beautiful. 72 is the high, 55 the temperature right now in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
Hey, it's Mike Rowe, and if you want to do business with a company that actually stands for something, switch to Pure Talk. I did. Sure, I appreciate being on America's most dependable 5G network with unlimited talk and text for just $20 a month. But what I really appreciate is Pure Talk's commitment to our military and to our skilled workforce. That matters to me. Save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
So with all the choices of where you could buy your furniture and mattresses, here's why you should purchase your new Lazy Boy, Smith Brothers or Flex Steel Furniture, Tempur-Pedic, Sealy or Stearns and Foster mattresses, or Berlin Gardens and Pollywood outdoor furniture from Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Unmatched customer service during and after the sale. Have a service issue, they're just one call away. They deliver and set up for free if you live within 75 miles of their store in Columbus. Saves you hundreds. Family owned, worth the very short drive. ThompsonFurniture.net.
The Attorney General's office wants to put your money back in your pocket. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov and search for yourself, your loved ones, or your business. It's fast, easy, and free.
Weekday mornings at 7:15, the Tony Katz Popcorn Moment. Brought to you by Boer Remodeling. Don't wait any longer for the kitchen you've been dreaming of. Request a consultation at boerremodeling.com. Join the Home and Garden Show Saturday in Anderson at Anderson Speedway, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. as they preview Saturday evening's Night of Thrills at Anderson Speedway.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. 9, 10, 11 o'clock.
Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Greg Collins filling in. You got Matt, you got Carl hanging out as they do every single morning on this show. Are you guys aware that a young priest went viral recently? Not for a terrible reason. I'm a Catholic. I'm glad about this. Although it is a weird reason. The guy is a priest in England, and apparently people think he's really attractive. So they're calling him, quote, the hot priest. And they're talking about how attractive the dude is, who's a young man who's, part of the Catholic Church. What's weird to me about this is that if it were me, which it would never have been, that's not a road I would have gone, I feel like the first thing you do is question if priest was the right decision for you. If a whole lot of people are saying, that they think you're incredibly attractive and they'd like to date you. I feel like the temptation would be real for the guy who's a part of the church now to go ahead and leave that life and go into whatever world he'd want to be in, where maybe he'd get to, interact with some of these ladies. What do you guys think of the hot priest going viral?
If they're calling him the hot priest, I really think like they're missing the point of the whole thing.
Yep.
Yeah, the humility part, it's just kind of like say, man, Judas, he had a big, beautiful beard. Yeah,
it's weird.
Gorgeous, Anybody can be a social media star today. Doesn't matter what your profession, what you do.
It's
Nothing
true.
is left untouched. It is scorched earth, any profession. Go be a social media star. It does not matter what you're doing anymore.
Yeah, no, it's right. It's funny because like cops will go viral occasionally for being hot. There was, I think, a photo of someone in ICE that was, turned around after apprehending somebody, and you could see the backside of the young woman, and people seemed to like that. That went pretty viral.
Sure did.
I don't know. What's that?
I said, sure it did, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why that is, though. Like, what is it about people that you're not supposed to be attracted to? Like, that's not part of the equation that makes them go viral when you think they are, in fact, also attractive, whether it be a cop, a priest, what have you.
Well, you look at the term itself, hot priest. Okay, priests aren't supposed to be hot, right? That's the attraction here, and priests are supposed to be hot in a way. Well, it's not somebody you think of like maybe a model, an actor, a fighter. I don't know, but it's something that a priest you don't normally think is going to be. So whenever you hear that term, it's like, man, I'm doing it. This is something bad here, a little naughty, but nobody's getting hurt. So I'm totally listen. I hear hot priest, and I think calendar. I think OnlyFans account. I think somebody's doing a parody or some kind of cosplay to something or somebody here.
Sure.
I don't think that it reflects the humble teachings
of the church.
This particular religion here. That's why I'm so confused. I'm like, isn't there something that says somewhere that you're not supposed to do this? And like some sort of law or rule of religion? And I don't know. I'm the last person to ask, so forgive me. But I just feel like that we're doing it wrong here.
We are. We're doing it very wrong. That's true. That's absolutely true. All right, I have another story. This is a guy on the internet who's gone viral. To Matt's point, anybody can be a celebrity on the internet now. Woo! All he does is whistle Freebird. That's it. That's the only thing he does. I have audio of the dude whistling Freebird. For some reason, this is an incredibly, popular social media account.
Oh, that's good.
Wow. This is all he does. He's got multiple posts of him doing this, both to the music on his own or out in public. But this is uniquely impressive, right?
I think that's talent. I think that's fantastic, actually.
Is he ever going to be on a stage anywhere, though, man?
It's like America's Got Talent, or something like that. Listen, I hope he makes some money off this. It's a talent.
Sure.
It's a good thing. It's a lot harder to do that than just, if he could whistle Freebird and twerk at the same time, multi-billionaire. Now we've got something.
That's true.
Now you can just twerk and be a multi-billionaire, but
That's true.
with whistling, that's an actual talent. So you got to, find something else.
Well, he'd have to be a hot lady in order to have the twerking be something that gets him go viral.
Got to be a hot priest.
Well, I don't know about that. What I think is so weird about this, though, is like, how do you discover that you're this good at whistling Freebird? Is that just something that happens on your own, and then you find out that the internet's going to love this? Like, where does that go? And why just the one song? Shouldn't he branch out to other music at some point with his whistling skills?
It skips every other generation, Craig. It's like balding. You see your grandpa losing your hair at a young age. You better watch out, buddy.
By the way, I was resisting asking who was blowing into their microphone a second ago.
Oh, that was me. I'm sorry. I was trying to whistle, dude. And it couldn't.
Yeah, but you were failing to whistle. So that was something that was amusing to me.
Yeah,
you want to try again?
I can try. Yeah. It's like. All right,
wait a minute.
Whistling.
Do you not know how?
I know how. You put your lips together and you make no.
Yeah, but you can't do it?
Dude. Yeah, but I can't. Well, look at you. No, that was really good. Here.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Wow.
That's amazing.
It's. I mean, I can't do that. I can't throw a baseball or a football. There are lots of things I can't do. Whistles one.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I can't catch a baseball if I have glasses on and not my contacts. I misjudge it. It's terrible, dude. Every beer league softball thing, everybody thinks I'm so hammered in the outfield, and it's really just that I have the wrong vision in. The glasses are an old prescription, so I can't see the ball. This was good. It's a good
Just
talk
have
we
a
had
fly
here.
ball. Hey, listen, if I'm center fielder, I'm just going to move over and be like, man, I hope the left fielder has good legs here and can make it over in time. I'm not getting it in the face with a baseball.
Oh, really? It's not that bad.
Yeah,
worse has happened. Yeah. All right. Last thing out there before we take a break. Somebody stole a Smokey Bear from outside a Pennsylvania fire department. I don't know why you'd want a large wooden Smokey Bear, but someone took one. And so now the fire department is complaining about it, and they'd like them to return the Smokey Bear back.
Yeah, it's a symbol of the station and the community, to do something like that. As a volunteer fireman here, I mean, we're looking for people to come and help the fire service, help the community, not to hurt it or damage it.
I feel like you can find this, though. Like, how do you hide a giant Smokey Bear? You got to be able to find this.
Oh, it's just a piece of local lore, I mean, you just grab something and, I don't know, you put it on your porch and you give it little glasses. Recognize it. Put on glasses.
Sure. Yeah, you put a little beard on it. I got it. Add a little mustache. It's totally
like
a different
Mr.
thing.
Potato Head with Smokey the Bear, you just start assembling it and then nobody knows. You want local lore, like at your place, that famous thing of the city. It's like in The Simpsons, they would steal the Chief's head, the statue. Bart would always go in and cut off the statue. It's like I have multiple signs at home that say Hoffer Road. I just take them because they're local lore,
Did you just admit to a crime, Matt?
No, I was kidding.
You're the guy. Okay, so we got to get you.
No, I've never taken a street side in my life.
Do you have a Smokey Bear from Pennsylvania by any chance?
No.
All right.
No.
But we'll take a break. I understand what you're saying, though. I've done it too, maybe, although it's not in the shot in the video, which is important. All right, we'll take a break. A lot coming up. Matt, get your traffic.
Eastbound 465 before Allisonville Road. Crash on the exit ramp to Allisonville Road, and that ramp is open. It is partially blocked right now. We're slow to the White River. Inbound 69 slows after 106th Street down to 82nd. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with nationwide LTE coverage for a limited time. Get 60% off free and free UPS shipping at rapidradios.com. Use code RADIO for an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear with Traffic on the Fives. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Hey, this is Rob.
And this is Casey.
Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here Monday.
If we're lucky. Join us Monday, 9 until noon on 93 WIBC.
Well, summer's still hot, and so are the deals at Tom Roush Lincoln. Right now, get 0% for up to 48 months on 2025 Lincoln Aviator and Nautilus, or 0.9% for 72 months on 2025 Grand Touring Corsair. Or how about a $50,000 Lincoln Corsair from just $499 per month? So come get one of those hot summer deals at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
MSRP $52.20, 36-month term, $2,500 due at signing, $499 a month, 10,500 miles per year. Good through 8/31/25.
Hey, it's Matt Bear here for Trajan Wealth. I've been talking about my friends at Trajan Wealth for a while now, and I'm a client. I'm now a client. Totally thrilled that I have this peace of mind in my retirement investing. I'm excited to share that Trajan is hosting a one-night-only movie premiere at Flicks Brewhouse in Carmel at 6 p.m. Retirement on the Brink is their new eye-opening documentary everyone nearing retirement needs to see. Call now to reserve your seat, 317-480-4040, or visit TrajanWealth.com. It's Flicks Brewhouse, September 25th at 6 p.m. Retirement on the Brink reveals the risks that could derail your future. It's a must-see movie event from my friends at Trajan Wealth. VIP seats available now at Retirement on the Brink. RetirementOnTheBrink.com. Get your tickets there or call today. Learn more. 317-480-4040. 317-480-4040. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement DBA in most states as Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to say
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's family-owned jewelry store, is dedicated to quality and fine craftsmanship. Let them help you celebrate that special moment in your life. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
America respects our first responders and veterans, the brave whose business is taking action when calamity strikes. It's dangerous work, often surrounded by sirens, shouting, even gunfire, so hearing loss is probable. First responders can turn to Relay Indiana. If you have trouble hearing on the telephone, visit RelayIndiana.com for voice recognition technology phones that allow the hearing impaired to have normal phone conversations. And there's loaned equipment for those who qualify. Get clarity back on the phone. Visit RelayIndiana.com.
Kendall and Casey.
The ultimate job of why we send people to Congress is not to be a teammate or an opposition to the president. It's to be a check and balance. If there's areas you agree, great, you vote together. If there's areas you don't agree, you push back. And all we see now in terms of our Congress is just, hey, if it's Democrat, it's blanket opposition. And if you're Republican, it's blatant errand boy behavior.
Kendall and Casey. Weekdays 9 till noon on 93 WIPC and WIPC.com.
Grown-ups, don't go back to school. Go forward through school into your future as an IT professional. Whether you're starting out, switching careers, or a veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you get into IT in just a few short months with no prior experience. So take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Your rewarding career in IT awaits. That's mycomputercareer.edu. An elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the VA benefits.
Make summer nights unforgettable with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get 50% off a stunning fire pit with their best stamped concrete patio package. Offer ends September 1st. IndyDecorativeConcrete.com.
Do you need air conditioning service and need to find a local well-trained expert you can trust, like Family Heating and Air Conditioning? Find that American Standard Air dealer at IndyHomeComfort.com.
Can't win playing by traditional sets of rules.
93 WIPC.
Eric Menendez explained why he killed his mother.
Another update.
It is an event about culture.
It's just minutes away.
Community and tradition.
We're going to continue our commitment to eliminate this DEI nonsense.
Trying to make sense of it all.
Child sex abuse material on several devices that he owns.
Stay in the know.
They continue to fight and they continue to kill people.
Our tariffs are remaking the global trading system.
On air, online, and on Alexa. 93 WIPC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A school shooting hoax. Nothing on radar. 59 degrees in downtown Indianapolis, going up to 72 today. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 8:31. At the University of South Carolina, cops responded Sunday evening to reports of a possible active shooter. University of South Carolina Deputy Police Chief Scott Prill told reporters that officers didn't find any evidence of a shooter and later cleared the area.
We sent out a Carolina alert, which goes out to all of our students, faculty, and staff, advising them to shelter in place until we investigated. We had officers respond. We could not find an active shooter.
And 2 students were injured trying to get away from the melee. President Trump plans to send National Guard troops to additional U.S. cities as part of his initiative to address crime.
President Trump is threatening to send National Guard troops to more cities to fight crime. They reportedly include Chicago, New York, and Baltimore. Democratic leaders there say his claims of high crime don't match the facts. The president is also now threatening to cut funding to rebuild Baltimore's Francis Scott Key Bridge unless the city addresses crime. Guard troops are already in our nation's capital.
And the Pentagon says that troops in Washington, D.C. are now carrying guns. Only 11% of Northern California's Picket fire has been contained so far. Fox San Francisco reporter John Krinjak with the latest.
1,200 firefighters from across the state surging into the fire zone. Crews rushing to contain what's known as a fire whirl, using helicopters to hit the flames from above. Others tackling flare-ups along the edge of the fire zone using hoses to shore up containment lines to make sure they hold. At the Ink Grove Winery, the flames were just a few feet away from the grapes. One after another, we watched bone-dry trees and bushes going up in flames in a matter of seconds. As thick smoke continues to billow from the Picket fire, air quality warnings have been extended.
The fire's burned at least 6,800 acres so far. Checking in on Hoosier weather, here's Jake McDaniel.
The state will be looking for some fantastic weather. That's the message from Jason Puma with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis. He says the warmest day of the work week will probably be on Friday.
When we have a high in the upper 70s, we'll probably see a high right near 78 that day.
And he says the coolest day of the week will probably be
on Tuesday. when we see highs only around 70 degrees.
And not just that, but mostly sunny skies are in your forecast with a break from the rain as well. Jake McDaniel, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Sports on WIBC is brought to you by Ball State Athletics. Visit ballstatesports.com. Last night in Minnesota, the Indiana Fever shorthanded again, missing 5 players, including Caitlin Clark, out for the 15th game in a row, kept it close, but lost to the Lynx, 97-84.
It's just being locked in for 40 minutes. We're a team that's still reintegrating new pieces, and we got to find a way to make it click.
And things kind of went sideways in the third quarter for head coach Stephanie White. The Fever play at home against the Seattle Storm on Tuesday, trying to chase that last playoff spot. Former Notre Dame quarterback Riley Leonard threw for 189 yards in the Indianapolis Colts 41-14 preseason finale over the Cincinnati Bengals on Saturday.
Got nothing to lose. Go out there, let it fly, have some fun. That's just kind of been the mindset, not giving the defense too much credit.
And Leonard threw a 59-yard touchdown strike to Laquan Treadwell in his first NFL score. The Colts kick off the season opener against the Miami Dolphins on September 7th. And Indiana Pacers guard Tyrese Halliburton says that he's progressing from walking in a boot to getting close to wearing a full-time shoe. He hosted a basketball camp over the weekend. I'm Ryan Hedrick on The Level on the go. And at WIBC.com at 8:35, traffic on the 5s. Here's Matt Baer.
All right, we have a crash on the exit from eastbound 465 to Allisonville Road. Now, the ramp is open. It's just partially blocked right now. We are slow to the White River, especially in those exit lanes to Allisonville Road. Inbound 69, slow before and after 96. South side, northbound 65, stop-and-go traffic after Keystone Avenue into the south split because of construction. Then westbound 70, slow after Sherman into the north split. East side, northbound 465, dragging from 74 up to Washington Street. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Make summer nights unforgettable with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get 50% off a stunning fire pit with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry, offer ends September 1st. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. I'm Matt Baer with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. It's going to be an absolutely gorgeous day today. It is 72 for a high today, 55 right now in downtown Indianapolis. Very few clouds in the sky. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Heating and Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC. Tony Katz, Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. I opened the show talking about this. I think it's important to discuss it throughout the day today. The way that language is both sanitized and then exaggerated by the left to try to further a narrative. They'll do things like tell you that Kilmar Abrego Garcia, a guy who is likely to get deported now to Uganda, I guess, not necessarily where he'd want to go, but doesn't matter. Legally, we're allowed to send him somewhere, not just let him stay here. He is an undocumented immigrant. He's not an illegal alien living in our country. That's horrible to say. How dare you? However, President Trump, whether he's fighting crime in D.C. or potentially fighting that crime in Chicago, Los Angeles, New York, wherever it might be, by activating the National Guard to help defend these cities against the rampant amount of crime they're facing, well, he's a dictator, and this is the Gestapo and all kinds of horrible, terrible things, and he's, mobilizing the military in a way that is occupying cities. That's what the left is saying. Here's why I think this is insane and ridiculous. First, the left often tells us that they care about the blue now, or they care about our military now. They back the blue, even if they wanted to defund the police just a short time ago. And then they say stuff like this. If military men and women of the United States, who I believe uphold the values of the United States, were to show up in greater force in my city, whatever city I live in, my immediate reaction would not be fear. My immediate reaction would be this is absolutely fine and probably a good thing, depending on what city you live in, because, again, I expect the men and women of my military to uphold the values of my country. And if there were anyone, Trump is not doing this, who was trying to actually make them behave poorly, make them do things to innocent people or target Democrats in some way, shape, or form, from all the military men and women I've met, I believe they wouldn't accept that order. They would say no. If they're actually being used to help fight crime, which is, again, what they're doing, Batman and Robin style, then I'm totally fine with this. Then this is great. What I don't understand is the need to be fearful of people just because they happen to be military men and women, not necessarily, the police officers who are struggling to do the job. And to be honest, in a lot of cases, the politicians and the media in certain cities make the cops' jobs even harder. Because if you do something that is fully legal and within every right you have to do it, say you treat a criminal like a criminal, you will be chastised for it, depending on what the optics are, and treated like you're somehow a horrible, terrible person. So a lot of cops are handcuffed to not be able to do their job. But I just think it's amazing that the left is struggling so much with how to convince you that they're as patriotic as the right, but then also saying that military individuals being used to help secure cities that have crime problems are somehow the same thing as a dictator taking military control, issuing martial law throughout the country. It's obviously not the same thing. There was no, attempt to overthrow the government on January 6th because none of those people brought weapons along with them, which makes it weird. But this version of speaking, this version of changing certain, verbiage or the describing of something one way and another way is half of the game. I can't tell you the amount of people I'm seeing on social media right now. I lived in Chicago for a long time. I have a lot of people that follow me or that I'm connected with on social media, friends in some cases that are in Chicago. A lot of people there are Democrats and left-leaning. And so I see these posts from people saying stuff like, how dare we let the military take over our city? If that's really what you think is going to happen, if the National Guard is activated in your city, I wonder what you think of our military. I question that more so than our leaders. If you don't like the person in charge, whether he's a Republican or a Democrat, fine. That's your decision. But when you actually think that those individuals in uniform are going to do something horrible because someone told them to go protect a city, you're actually telling me what you think about the patriotic people who sign up to protect you. And that, I think, is the bigger problem in our society. So I just can't get over that today. I know it's probably a topic more valuable in a place like Chicago than in Indianapolis, although I bet you a whole lot of people in Indy would love to have Trump focus on that city too and send a whole bunch of troops in to help protect it from the crime that goes on there. This isn't inherently a racist or in any way horrible thing that someone does to become a dictator. It is, in fact, asking the military people that we're supposed to trust, that we're supposed to look up to and think of as heroes, to do a job that we can't do without them. That's the intention of this. I can't believe it's being shaped another way. And then also I'm completely unsurprised that that's the way it's being talked about. But anyway, that's my rant to end the show about that, at least to end this part of the show for that. We'll take a break. We'll come back and we'll have fun before we actually end the show. Right here on Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC. Craig Collins filling in.
Why do so many foundation, basement, and crawl space companies ask for half your money up front? Could it be because that's easier to get than earning all your trust? At the Michaelis Corporation, they believe trust is earned, not demanded. That's why they do things differently. They start with a free inspection, no strings attached, to give you an honest assessment of what your home needs. No pressure, no surprises. When it's time for the work, they don't ask for a deposit or any upfront payment. Not a single dollar until the job is complete and you're 100% satisfied. That's how they've been earning trust for over 39 years. Whether it's sagging floors, moisture control, concrete repair, or a full crawl space encapsulation, you can count on Michaelis for repairs that last. Don't trust just anyone with your home. Choose the company that puts your trust first. Text or call 844-FIXED-INDY today. That's 844-FIXED-INDY. The Michaelis Corporation, building trust beneath your feet.
Hi, this is Denny Smith for Zero-Res, and the August flash sale is on. 3 rooms of carpet cleaning starting at $119, plus a free hallway and $75 off duct cleaning. Now, when was the last time you gave your carpets some love? Listen, they are the largest air filter in your home, and unless those carpets are cleaned on a regular basis, the stuff that's in the fibers can be downright scary. There's a good chance you're breathing unhealthy levels of germs, dirt, dander, bacteria that just keep recirculating again and again. Well, with the Zero-Res August flash sale, all of that could be history. And with their great gotta love it guarantee, they're going to make sure your investment with them is a great experience. The Zero-Res service is easy to line up. Just go online at zeroresindy.com to do the scheduling at your convenience. Mention WIBC, you'll get 3 rooms cleaning starting at $119. $119 plus a free hallway and $75 off duct cleaning. It's the Zero Res August Flash Sale, 317-388-5141, online at zeroresindy.com.
You hear that? That's Mike sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. That's because Mike was smart this time. He took ZQL Ultra to fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and get the deeply restorative sleep he needs. So now he wakes up refreshed and ready to conquer Mondays.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Ultra. Not for colds, just for sleep. Really great sleep. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Central Indiana knows tough, but your water shouldn't be. Indiana ranks among the hardest water in the country, and your home is paying the price. Connecticut's non-electric technology means no timer, settings, or headaches. Just water that works, even when the power doesn't. And the twin tank design means clean, soft water 24/7. Connecticut water softeners are the solution, made in the U.S. Visit ConnecticutIndy.com and mention Made in the U.S. for an additional $250 off your purchase of a softener. Connecticut, American-made, Midwest tough.
Forget digging through clutter to find what matters. The WIBC Daily Newsletter puts the biggest local stories and exclusive show moments in your inbox and lets you skip the scroll. Sign up by clicking Connect at WIBC.com.
Matt Bear, how do our roads look?
Crash on the exit from eastbound 465 to Allisonville Road. The ramp is open. It is partially blocked. And then on the northwest side, northbound 465, stop and go traffic from 86th Street up to 865. South side, northbound 65 slows after South Keystone Avenue into the south split. That's a 6-minute delay. Westbound 70 slow from Sherman into the north split out to Meridian Penn. And now a crash reported eastbound 70. Mercy. Eastbound 70 at 465 Shadeland Avenue. We have a car of the camera up here. At least 2 cars involved, and one of them hit the front of a concrete barrier. Keep you updated on that. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Make summer nights unforgettable with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get 50% off a stunning fire pit with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry, offer ends September 1st. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Increasing clouds, a high of 72, so really lovely day today. 55 right now in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Heating and Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC. We're doing the TV theme thing that Carl does, and I definitely have seen this show. I definitely recognize this theme song. That name's not coming to me. I'm going to have to use a phone a friend, Carl, if that's okay with you. Thank you, sir. I am looking through the list of people I included on my phone a friend, and it looks like Matt Bear, for some reason, is at the top of my list. Matt.
I made the list!
Matt, you got this? You know what this is?
Oh, I don't know what the hell this is. No. No idea.
Have you seen this show before? Do you think you've seen the television show that matches
this could be Law and Order Criminal Intent as far as I know.
It's probably this. Go back to... No, it's not. Go back to the beginning, Carl. The beginning's the iconic moment for it. Let's play the beginning again. Yeah, see, right there. I've seen this show. I have no idea. I know. It's not coming to me. Am I supposed to guess? Does Tony usually guess when he knows it's going to be wrong?
I don't know. Yeah, go ahead, guess anyways. Yeah,
ER?
Guess.
Is this ER?
Yeah, Carl says no on ER, Craig. Wait, what else was on Must See TV? Is this Friends?
Yeah, this is
no,
Friends.
Not Friends. No. What else? Seinfeld.
Yeah.
I miss Must See TV so much.
See, what's bad about that is pretending we don't know what the actual theme songs are to those shows, because that would be so easy. If we just had some Jerry Seinfeld stand-up, I would know exactly what he's doing. Carl, what's the show?
Turn on your mic, Carl.
Yep, turn on your mic.
The Cosby Show.
Oh, yeah, that's the Cosby Show.
That's not the Cosby Show. That's like dun, 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 dun.
Also, how awkward of a Cosby Show decision there. What is that decision about, buddy?
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah. I didn't choose it.
No, we got nothing.
Wasn't me.
How do you pick the shows, Carl? How do you pick which ones we play?
Usually when I'm driving in, I'll just go, what am I going to play today?
Oh, yeah. Cosby Show is a good show. I will say that. I'll put that out there. It was an enjoyable show at times. The Bill Cosby today conversation not as easily had.
I'm just a fill-in guy. Carl's a regular producer, and Craig hosts the show all the time. Nothing to do with that decision. That wasn't me.
No, hold on. People make a lot more Cosby jokes now than they used to. Have you noticed that?
Fantastic. Good. Society's progressing. That's great.
Yeah, we've gotten to the time in society where people now feel like we can make fun of the horribleness that is all of that stuff out there. But anyway, a good television show. I'm fine with that. I don't need to dwell any longer. We can move on. Other stuff out there that I saw that I found interesting, that I love how uncomfortable Matt Bear is, by the way.
Oh, I'm great. No.
I kind of feel like I should just keep sitting in this for a bit. Let's just end the show with as uncomfortable as we can be the entire time. Matt, what are your thoughts about the comedy legend Bill Cosby?
Well, Craig, he has some serious legal issues, as I understand it.
There's challenges.
Honestly, I never thought he was very funny. If you're asking me purely on comedy, I never got a kick out of Bill Cosby.
Wow.
I watched a little bit of the Cosby Show because my family and friends did, but I was never like, wow, Bill Cosby is just really, really funny to me. It just wasn't. Sorry.
He has a bit. This is so weird. This is not what we intended to talk about, but I can't help myself. He has a bit about going to the dentist that I performed in third grade.
Now,
I did that as a talent show in third grade. I did the Cosby dentist thing. It was not good. I did not crush it again.
How dentists want to talk to you when you have that thing in your mouth.
Yep, exactly. I did the whole bit. See, Carl remembers it. I had my mouth open and I pretended I was at the dentist on the stage in third grade. I don't know why for a talent show, I always choose to be an individual. Like I never went with the group. The group always had more success. I always wanted to go alone.
What you should have done is rehashed one of Sam Kinnison's old bits.
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
In the third grade, they would have loved you.
They would have. That would have been great.
That popularity would have carried in the freshman year from grade school.
Yeah, it would have exploded from that point on, yeah. The other really sad, this has nothing to do with Bill Cosby now, which is probably a good thing for all of us. The other sad moment that I remember from my childhood of a talent show is when I performed the song from Hercules in a toga. Have I talked about this before in this show?
I love it.
Is there video?
Yes. This is what people always ask me when I bring this up on the radio. This was fifth grade, and so I sang the Michael Bolton Go the Distance song. I don't know why I did this. I think part of me thought that it was funny, even myself, to do something this stupid. And my mother made me a toga the night before from a bedsheet.
Oh, wow.
Uh-huh. And I performed the show. My favorite part of that memory to this day as a kid, and I was, 10, 11 when that happened, no one applauded when the song ended. They didn't clap till I came out of the back of the stage because they had forgotten to, they didn't know what they saw. So the whole time they're sitting there and then when I emerged from behind the stage, then they all go we forgot. We forgot to do this for the child. We forgot to clap for him. Yeah.
No, I feel you. And I would have been the one guy out there clapping for you, Craig.
Thanks,
because I think that is funny. That was my sense of humor. I was always the weirdo, period.
Yeah.
But when I went to the talent show in high school, I could play. When I was a kid, I could play the piano, and
nice.
I thought if I went out there and performed a classical piece in front of the entire high school,
popular.
That would make me really popular and really cool. What I got was after the show, one of the kids, I didn't even know I was a freshman in high school. We had just moved there. One of the kids shouts across the hallway, "Who do you think you are, Liberace?"
Nice.
Oh man, I just wanted to put my head on the floor. It's so cruel.
Well, that's funny. You had actual talent and you took the talent show seriously.
Oh,
I did the exact
pissed it away.
opposite
Don't
thing.
worry, it's gone. It's out of here.
We know that he wasn't whistling at the talent show.
No, we do know that. Yeah, we have learned today that Matt Bear cannot whistle, which makes me laugh for some reason. Are you guys familiar with the term shrekking?
Is this clean?
Oh, my God, if it wasn't. I don't even want to know what people are now. Okay, shrekking means that you date someone unattractive. You do it on purpose because you believe, hold on, I'm not done. You believe that the person will treat you nicer than an attractive person. So it's like the movie Shrek, where the attractive Princess Fiona dates the horrible, ugly monster. Media is telling you that this is a good idea, social media. Everyone else is saying that this is a horrible, terrible idea for two reasons. First, the person might not treat you nicely just because you think they're way less attractive than you. They might still treat you like a human would treat you. And then two, talk about a horrible thing to do to someone, to date them because you think they're so ugly that they might treat you nice.
It's so condescending. I mean, it's so like I am superior man. I just hate the whole day. I hate it conceptually. I really do. And if you go into a relationship thinking like that with that kind of mentality or expectations, I'd imagine you're not quite ready for the relationship yet.
True.
I mean, and this is somebody who's never been ready for a relationship in their entire life. You don't have your priorities exactly where they need to be. Kids are kids. You know, if you're in teens or early 20s, you're going to do dumb things, say dumb things, think dumb things. As we get a little older, man, we got to grow out of some of that a little bit, right?
Can I say one thing about it, though? Because the more I was thinking about it, there was one other thing I wanted to say before we get out of here.
Oh, sorry.
If I was a young man and a bunch of the hot chicks thought I was, like, ugly enough to date because, you know, I was going to be nice to them, that'd have been a great time in my life. I would not have been upset by that, guys. As a dude, you'd be like, whatever the reason is, baby. It doesn't matter. And then you just move on, you know, from one to another young woman who wants to try dating you.
High school Matt is so in on that, too. High school Matt was ready for the rule change that never came. Yeah, I would have been down with that so much.
Right. Whatever the reason is, if you date a hot lady at some point in your life, the guy doesn't usually care what the reason is that they decided to date you, just that they're dating. All right, we're out of here. That's the end of the show. Thank you always. Matt, you got traffic. See you guys next time.
Perfect way to wrap up the show, too. Looking at East Side, eastbound 70 at Shade